Hey, I'm here with David Finch, and you're watching Rogues Gallery Live. Good evening, everybody. It's Chris the Batman Statue Collector, and welcome to Rogues Gallery Live. This is episode 200. Can't believe we've made it this far. Good Lord Almighty. But 200 episodes in Rogues Gallery Live, and I just want to say off the bat, thank you so very much, everybody, for being along this journey with us. Tonight we are going to celebrate just statue collecting. It's the thing that we love. It's the thing that brings us all together. And so we're really excited. We've got numerous members from Sideshow Collectibles joining us tonight. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And thank you guys for being here in the chat and watching along with us. With us over here, as always, we've got Dan from Wayne Manor, Rocket City. How's it going, sir?
Hey, everybody. Glad to be here on this exciting night. I can't believe it's been 200 episodes, by the way. You start doing the math about that, and it just kind of, it's crazy.
It's a long time. I don't know how many years we've been doing. I mean, I know that this coming year will be Jeff and I's 10th anniversary on YouTube.
Yeah,
doing our channels, and so I don't know how long we've been doing Rogues, but I would imagine it's probably at least 8 or 9 of those years. I would think
at least 8. So
yeah, we've been growing our white whiskers over the last 8 years. That's for sure. Yeah, that's right. Next to Dan, we have just one of my favorite all-time artists. It is so awesome to have him on the channel. This is Martin Canale, ladies and gentlemen.
I think you were talking about Danny. That's just coming in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know. I think he was talking about you, Danny.
Give me a sec. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, Martin, we're so glad to have you here.
Thank you for invitation and for this special edition. I mean, 200 is quite a number.
Well, we're really excited, and we had to celebrate big with having you guys on. So again, thanks for coming on and spending your time with us tonight. It means the world to us. So thank you. We also have Eric B from All Things Art. How's it going, Eric?
Doing good. Excited for tonight's show. And yeah, it's unbelievable. It's already 200 episodes. It's been a long time, but it went by fast.
That's right. That's right. We also have Jeff Delaney from The Secret Sanctuary. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing really good. And I was just wondering, who was on the first show?
Oh, man. Well, I think
probably just
Chris. I know Jeff Morris was on there, I think.
Okay. It'd be fun to look back and see who was on it.
It would. I know. And it probably had, probably maybe some Collectorverse people on there, probably.
Maybe
Lauren. We were kind of starting that out.
I had no idea when I started. I don't know.
I don't know when I started either, so if it helps you. But I think Lawrence Old Jr. was on there probably back in those days. So just awesome. But that's a good. I know I need to go back and watch the first episode now. Back in the old attic.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
We also have Mr. Daniel Bell. It's so great to have you here, art director of Sideshow Collectibles. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you so much for the invitation, guys, and congratulations for the 200 shows. So that's quite a number, as Martin said. Yeah, 200.
Well, again, we've had you on the show before, and you always are amazing. So thank you so very much for taking time out of your day. I know you guys are very, very busy, and it just means the world to us that you guys would come on and help us celebrate tonight. So thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Last but certainly not least, hopefully he can hear us, but we have Mr. Anthony Mestas in the house. Yep. How's it going, Anthony?
Good. Hi, guys. How's it going? Sorry, I'm a little late running around here.
No worries. We're all doing the exact same thing today, so we understand completely. Yeah. We're just glad that you're here. And again, welcome back to the show.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
So, like I said, everybody, this is our celebration of the 200th episode. And we thought what better way, and I think Dan really said it best, is for us tonight just to focus on what we love, and that is statue collecting. And, we all got into this hobby for a lot of different reasons. And I thought it would be kind of fun just to kind of go around before we get started and just kind of say, what was it? What was it about the hobby? For me, it was seeing Sideshow Collectibles. You know, I was kind of dabbling into some hot toy stuff, and I wasn't really sure what direction I wanted to go to. And then I saw my first premium format, and it was all uphill from there, or downhill, depending on how my wallet is screaming to this day. But you know, for me, it was Sideshow and just what they were able to achieve in bringing these amazing characters to life in such a detailed and well painted way. That was me. What about you guys? You guys want to jump in?
I can tell you my short story. I had been collecting. I'm a big Steven Spielberg fan. I've been collecting Raiders and Jurassic kind of related things, autographs, that kind of stuff, prop replicas. As you can see, my dinosaur here joining me for the show. And I found
Lego.
I found a studio in Australia called Studio Oxmox, who sold. He was doing T-Rex statues. I don't know the scale, but it's about 40 inches long.
Big.
And I ordered from Studio Oxmox. I love the statue, and it just kind of occurred to me, I wonder if there's other statues out there. Big mistake. Oh no, it was actually a wonderful mistake, circumstance. So, and that just kind of led me down, and all of a sudden I found statues related to my other favorite IP, which happens to be Batman in this case, and the rest is history.
Absolutely. How about you, Jeff, or you, Eric?
So I've been a collector of Gold and Silver Age comics for decades. And so I'd go to San Diego every year, and I'd always walk by the Sideshow booth and appreciate what they had, but it never occurred to me to collect. So I thought, I don't want to spend that much money on a statue. And then
what happened? What happened?
About 10 years ago, I walked by and I thought, this is really stupid. I'm spending tons of money on comics. Why would I not spend $400 on a statue? And that was the year that the first Batgirl premium format came out. And that one I thought was really, really cool. And that was the first statue I ever ordered. I mean, I had a few 1/6 pieces that my comic shop had in stock, like a Batman and a Superman or something. But the first real statue I bought was the Batgirl premium format. And that quickly devolved into going back and picking up the Superman premium format and the Batman.
No going back.
And the Hulk and,
no going back.
I love it's devolved.
Yeah, it's just been a nightmare ever since.
But it's been an amazing journey. That's without question.
It's been awesome. Yeah, what's interesting is, I was very involved in the comic book community and still am. But that's a very when you're interested in vintage comics, stuff that's pre-1970. There's no new vintage comics coming out. So you have to appreciate what's already out there. The statue world, of course, is different. There's new stuff coming out every week, and it's a very international community. Comics isn't really like that when you're talking about vintage comics. So it was very exciting to become part of this community and meet people literally from all over the world. It's been great.
It's awesome. Eric?
Yeah, so my first Sideshow piece, actually, I was telling Chris this earlier, started off with that Spider-Man that he just got in the other night, the one where he's on the crane. So I had like one or two like Kotobukiya pieces in my office next to the computer. And at the same time, my wife had like all these nice Disney statues by Lennox. So I was thinking, I'm over here with like these little figures that look like plastic toys. And then she has like these really cool, expensive Disney pieces that, look like real statues. So went on the internet, did like a search, Spider-Man statue. Kudos to your web development team, because Sideshow came right up. And I went on the website, and it was just Spider-Man must have just came out. And I was looking at the advertisement, and it kind of leads into the whole convention thing, which I'm glad you guys have come back to the conventions, because from the website, you can't appreciate how these things look in person. Like on the website, I was like, back then, I think it was like $500 for a premium format. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. But you guys were at New York Comic Con, and that was actually my very first convention. I went there just to see Sideshow Collectibles, and I remember, I'll never forget the memory. I walked right up to the booth. I saw the classic Spider-Man facing the black suit Spider-Man, beautiful display behind glass, and my jaw hit the ground. I was like, I want to buy that right away. And I actually asked the lady there, I was like, can I purchase this? And she was like, no, you have to pre-order it. And back then I didn't understand all that.
No.
Like, you have to pre-order. What do you mean? No, it's right there. I want to buy it. No, you have to pre-order it
Right now.
You have to go home and do it. I'm like, I have to go home. I was like, all right, that's kind of weird. But yeah, the next day I went home and I purchased 2 Sideshow pieces. I ordered the premium format Hulk back then and like the Mark 42 Iron Man. So I went from not wanting to buy one piece because I thought it was too expensive to buying like 3 pieces in 1 week. So it goes to show you that having a presence at the conventions does make a big difference to new customers.
Absolutely. We're going to get to that here in just a bit, but I also wanted to throw it out to Daniel, Anthony, and Martin. Like, was there?
Well, I think Anthony and we are the oldest one here because we come from the Bowen times.
Oh yes.
We come from the before that when the garage kit things was going
model
around.
Kits.
Model kits, exactly. And also with all the Japanese like future models, future shops, Nirasawa, Takeya, all those monsters that on that time was something blowing mind. So it's but I was asking, someone will mention Bowen that was who really started doing with comics what we have here today.
Yeah.
Because he started with the things about the pre-painted and licensed things moving around, because before that was Horizon doing some maybe Venom and other characters, but was a garage kit. I mean, model kits to ensemble and paint, right?
Yeah.
But full painted and like a license, a big one was
Randy.
Style, obviously very clean, very line, very going to what the panels on the comic shows. No real texture, was more shapes and that to me was like a wow, that is nice.
Just to jump in, like Martin said, I don't think too many people know Martin and I go way back before Sideshow. We knew each other. And it goes back to how Martin was talking about model kits and garage kits. And if you're familiar, garage kits is just a term for a resin kit that, back in the 80s, and it started in Japan where people were making resin model kits in their garage. So it got the moniker of garage kits, and it evolved from there, from artists that were developing their skills and we're taking it a little bit more serious, like Randy Bowen. Randy Bowen got his start doing model kits. He didn't just pop up out of the blue doing Bowen designs and characters. So he was well known in the garage kit community, and it evolved into Bowen designs. But like Martin said, I've always been building models since I was 4 years old with my grandfather and painting, and it just evolved throughout me being a kid, and then into high school and Dungeons and Dragon figures, and then it kind of you get a little bit older and you got girls and going out and everything else, and all that stuff takes the sidetrack, and you still like it, but you're just like, it's in the background. And then once I found out about model kits coming out of Japan, which were a lot of characters that were like Universal monsters and Godzilla and Kaiju and a lot of original pieces, like Martin was talking about, artists named Nirasawa, who passed away a few years ago, and Takia, and some of these guys. We're doing awesome original stuff that you'd never seen in the US, and I gravitated to that. I definitely know Martin did, because that's how him and I kind of hit it off back when Martin didn't even speak much English back in the day. We were communicating through chat and AOL and stuff.
What he's trying to say?
I don't know. Just send me some pictures, But a funny thing too is I have and I talk to Martin about it when he comes and visits. I go, hey Martin, remember you sculpted a little epoxy Batman about this big? And it was like kind of like Simon. He was a big Simon Bisley fan. It was even before one of those. And it was kind of a Simon Bisley-esque.
It's there.
Oh, right there. That's right there. That's awesome.
No, I have one that's even before that. That's an original.
The previous one.
That Martin probably doesn't want me to show to anybody, but it's in Colorado. Because I'm originally from Colorado, and it's still in my grandparents' house in the studio that my brother now owns. Anyway, we go back way back then, and that's when I started realizing Martin was into comics quite a bit, because even though we were into creatures, all of a sudden he's showing me, these Batman displays and stuff that he was doing for comic book shops in Argentina, and then he was doing Jokers, and he was doing garage kits and models, and we kind of just hit it off. And eventually my love for garage kits, which I still do, that's mainly what I collect, led me to collect led me to Collectibles and to Sideshow. So Martin's always been a big nut for the Joker. He's always crazy for the Joker.
I was gonna say it's my all-time favorite sculpt right here. I love this thing. I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
absolutely one of the best. Yep, that's what kicked it all off for me. So you guys had already met. I didn't realize that. But how did you guys get involved with Sideshow then?
Well, that was a big coincidence and universe.
It was really. Position. When I started at Sideshow, he had a group of artists that were working with him that they had called the Gore Group, and I remember when I moved from Colorado to work with Sideshow, and I got involved because the ex-creative director, I guess now, Tom Gillen, he was a painter and was doing a lot of heavy lifting on the creative end of it for Sideshow, and we were friends from way back from the early 90s because of model kits. All roads lead to model kits. Because basically what we're doing now is just the collectible industry now of the statues. It came to be because there were a lot of cool model kits. Rarely were they licensed, but all of a sudden you started getting some companies that were getting the license for them. But then all of a sudden it was like, well, not everybody could paint. Not everybody could build models, nor did they want to.
Tom was giving classes or tutorials about that in an Amazing Modeler Figure magazine,
Modelers Resource magazine.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there were model magazines back in the day, and that's how Tom and I met, because we were model guys. And then so once Tom was heavily involved with Sideshow because he was their painter and model builder, years later I was doing some freelance work where they would send it, and then eventually Tom was like, "We have enough work for you to come and pack up and move to California." And I was like, all right, I guess I do it.
Yeah, twist my arm, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was the right time in my life where I was like, I guess it's time to make that move. So I came out here. But the funny thing is I remember it was like the first week starting at Sideshow in-house. All of a sudden I'm seeing a piece, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is our first Marvel licensed piece that we're going to be getting into and stuff." And who's sculpting on this? Oh, the Gore Group, Martin Canale. And I was like,
that was the second one. The first one was the Wolverine by Andy Berthold.
Oh yeah, the Wolverine.
Yeah, the second was Punisher, and then become the Green Goblin.
Yeah, it was Green Goblin, and then it was the diorama with the
Electra made by Paolo Vigiano, and the diorama.
There was it was all this. All of a sudden, it was like, wait, Martin's doing work for you guys? Hey, I know Martin, And then and the funny thing was when he was going to come down and visit the office, his plane I find out his plane caught, I don't know, smoke or fire or something. They landed in my hometown in Colorado, which is a tiny place called Pueblo, Colorado. You blink and you'd miss it. But somehow he wound up at that airport, and I remember being at Sideshow, and
we never can get down from the plane because the airport was so small. So we was going on landing, and we was watching all the firemen's cars and policemen and ambulance, and say, "Oh, this is not good."
I was like, "What is Martin doing in Pueblo, Colorado?"
On the plane, saying, "Why we are not getting down?" So the airport, the airport's so small. It's better you stay over here. But
they didn't even fly big
smoke planes. on the wings. I don't want to be here.
There was no reason for that plane to be at that airport, But so long story short, we've been working together at Sideshow, 23 years, going on 23 years. So
wow,
yeah.
Cool.
Sideshow just turned 30 this year, right? So you guys have been there almost the whole time.
Yeah, I missed I wasn't quite here for the early days, but I was quite familiar with it because of my relationship with Tom, and being involved in all the model kits and shows and everything else. And like I said, the industry itself gestated from people not wanting to paint or build. So it was like, well, what do you do? Well, you figure out a way to have these things mass produced for people that don't build models or don't want to build models or can't paint or don't want to paint. And next thing you know, you got, Sideshow and Prime Ones and everything else. I mean, if you dig deep enough, you'll find a link from these companies into model kits where they go way back. But
but there was Bowen, then Claiborne Moore,
Gentle Giant, Claymore,
Gentle Giant, exactly. Art Asylum did something too, but more. I think it was more close to the action.
Art Asylum had done some stuff that was like Fact 2 and stuff, and they're even doing some clothing on some of those old pieces. But the thing was a lot of those back then they just couldn't figure it out on a mass production, and they could do some real limited things, but they always seemed to falter when they try to get into the companies. But Sideshow had kind of cut their teeth on toys and action figures, and then evolved into statues, and were able to make it work. Plus, Sideshow being out in Southern California, Tom came from the special effects end of it, and plus building models was his hobby. He used to work at a hobby shop called Kitcraft that was super well known, and Kitcraft always got people from the effects industry in there. So you got people that were sculpting stuff on there that worked in special effects that would bring stuff in and maybe do a run of 10, 20 resin kits and would bring them into Kitcraft just to make some side cash. And so it was always this kind of nebulous thing that was going on that, kind of found its way into what we're talking about today.
It's so cool. When I was out at San Diego a number of years ago, I actually got to meet Tom, and it was really neat to finally kind of meet the man that kind of started it all. And it's just it was a big thrill for me. And then Daniel, I guess you're the newbie then. I guess
got the young guy. We got the young guy.
He's the baby. He's the baby
younger than ever now.
Were you a collector before you got started also, or did you dabble in any of that?
No, not really. No. I remember the first thing I wanted to collect. It was a Hot Toy figure, and it was the Iron Man Mark IV when the first Iron Man came out. Mm-hmm. That was like 13 years ago, 14 years ago. I don't remember. And it was a die-cast piece. And when I saw it here in Argentina, it was so expensive for me that I couldn't get it. I couldn't pay for it. So, I got that thing like I really wanted to have. Well, maybe now it's time, because so many years passed after that time. But, but I really, when I started collecting stuff, it was my own things, the things that I was, sculpting and designing. So to be honest, I don't have that kind of feeling of passion for collecting, but for doing things, for making things, of course I do have, but not for collecting. So I don't have too much stories about that, unfortunately.
Well, I was talking with Martin before the show, and I was asking him about, your transition, because, we all know you in the community as a sculptor, and now you've kind of made that transition to art director. And with that, I was wondering if you were still sculpting. And Martin said, well, you always have your hand in everything. There's still bits and pieces of Daniel in all the pieces. And what's that transition been like for you? Was it easy, or has it been difficult to be like, oh, I really wish I could sculpt this whole thing? Like, has it been hard?
It was interesting, because I went from sculptor, then art director, and now creative director. So when I was sculpting and then art directing, the ability I had, actually Martin also was an art director, and some other people at Sideshow, it's like you can put some more piece of you in your statues. I mean, have more decision, and present more ideas in a different way, not just executing things when as when I was a sculptor. So the art directing thing, it was a step, a step up. And then a year and a half ago, I had this interesting, great conversation with Tom, asking me about, okay, what about this next step? Actually, it's fun. It's a funny story. I had this conversation with Tom, saying and express my feelings of not being 100% fulfilled anymore, just being a sculptor, which is weird. But at some point, I don't know what happened, but at some point in your career, I think you expect a little bit more, or at least I felt that I was being able to give more to the company, more
like new challenges, right?
Exactly, new challenges, and after his conversation, he proposed me this new role, and it was very surprising because the meaning of being a creative director is taking over. I was his role. I would say, what do you mean? Are you leaving? No. He was. He still has the creative chief officer role, and then I step into this new role of a creative director. So, but it comes with many things, not just taking a new role. I have to move with my family to the US. So it was a huge challenge, and it's still a huge challenge and a amazing adventure. So, many changes, many big changes, not only in the art side. I love sculpting, of course, and sometimes I miss a little bit doing, everything from scratch. But I'm still giving, sometimes feedback directly in ZBrush or on Photoshop or whatever. And I have every single day, I have a chance of showing the artists, the sculptors, the illustrators, hey, this is what I have in my mind, and and find a solution together and work as a team, And same as, with Martin, with the PMs, with the Anthony, and with the design directors as well. So I think I would say it evolved, and I'm expanding my abilities rather than just changing or leaving behind something. I think I like to see. I really want to see more like that than something bad or anything kind of weird for my career. I think it's all the opposite. It's a great thing for my career. So I'm pretty happy about the whole thing.
Well, we're excited for you. We're excited for Anthony. I know you're doing art directing, Anthony, so that's really exciting.
Yeah, there's a little bit. I'm always working with the various departments and teams. Mostly it's project managing, but I find myself, I came to Sideshow as a painter, and pretty much instantaneously came into running the paint department for X amount of years. And then as things evolve, it was like, somewhat like how Danny was saying, it was like, well, where do I find myself? Do I stay in the paint? Do I do, since I was going to China and looking at that stuff, so I had involvement there. So the project managing was kind of like, okay, well, how do you feel about this? Because when you manage a project, you're just not, hey, is this on time type deal? You got to really know what you're managing and know how to interact with the departments and coming from the artistic or the art end of it, the development end of it, it makes it much more. That gives you the extra ammo to be able to go in there and manage the project. If something's going off the rails on a sculpt or on a paint job or photography or whatever it may be, you should have the ability to go in there and give some feedback and know what you're talking about, rather than just saying, no, I don't know what I'm looking at, or whatever it may be. So that was always the benefit of coming from paint and coming from more of the artistic end of it, because at the end of the day, we're making product, but it is an artistic endeavor. It's sculptors, it's mold making, it's people that are model building, maybe not as much as it was in the past when we were doing stuff traditionally. And now you got your graphics department, and everything is some facet of art, and I think we could all attest to that's what makes the community so diverse, because with art comes, everybody has an opinion on what they think art is. I don't like the way this looks. This is dumb. This is great. And it's like, you can't, if it was a soda can, it's like, yeah, that's a soda can. If this is a pencil, that's a pencil. Nobody's going, I don't like the way that pencil looks, or I don't like the color of that pencil, or that pencil lead is too hard or too soft, or whatever it may be. But with art, with what we do and what we collect, there's all kinds of opinions and artistic the way people see things. So it's always, everybody's always on their toes, regardless of what people the reaction is about that stuff.
Yeah, but you also have a big knowledge about all the creatures and monsters.
Yeah.
Universal and Japanese creatures.
Because I think you know, the reality of it is no matter what you're doing, you have to be familiar with just visuals in life in general.
Yeah.
Like whether you're paint, you got to know what something looks like. I mean, I used to write for a magazine for 10 years called Amazing Figure Modeler, and I had an article where it was like building dioramas and everything. And I remember I used to always talk about get your reference in order, because you might think you know what something looks like. And then once you look at reference, you're like, I was way off. You know, it's just in my head is what I thought it looked like. But to back that up, you should also be familiar with, be able to know what something looks like without pulling that. Like if I'm trying to replicate, you know, weathered, something that's weathered, well, you know how weathering works. You know, if it's drips or rain, it's running, you know, it's going to hit this way and it's going to go this way and whatever it may be. But, you know, I think it really, to have an artistic background, whether it's, you know, the funny thing is a lot of people that work in the industry they didn't go to school for this. You don't go to making statue school. The only good thing is that now, because of the industry, you have schools like Noman and some of these other places that focus on sculpting, but a lot of it is because of the movie industry and especially gaming, which goes hand in hand. You get because everything is created digitally now. I mean, when I started, there was no digital sculpting or any of that. It was all traditional. And now I've seen it go from traditional to digital to the point to where people only do digital and are almost dumbfounded by traditional because they don't know anything else. They're just like shocked that, wow, people were sculpting these things out of clay and people were making textures and everything. And Martin could
working this size, not making zoom on the screen.
Exactly. And I remember Martin, because he was in Argentina, he used to, the industry used to use wax and a material called castelline, which was like a wax, and super sculpey was even prior to that, which was a polymer clay that you used to bake. And a lot of artists couldn't work in that because they used to equate it to like bubble gum. You push and pull and you'd have to bake it, and then you'd have to wait, and then you'd have to add and carb and all this crazy stuff. Martin was even worse because they couldn't get that. They couldn't get super sculpey and stuff in Argentina. And we were like, well, what the hell? I knew what he was sculpting in because I knew him, and he used to sculpt in 2-part epoxy. So you get two pieces and you mix equal, and you had anywhere 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20, depending on the heat and how you mix it. That stuff cures, and you're not working on it anymore. You're going to get a Dremel and grind it or add on to it. Try to blending into the ass. So they were like, no, he's sculpting these pieces in epoxy. And we're like, how is that even possible? Because I worked in epoxy when I used to build models and dioramas and stuff. And it's not fun. It could be fun, but it's not fun if you're going to build a figure out of it. It might be fun to do some other stuff, but
that's why he's Martin freaking Canale. That's why right there.
And the funny thing is, when you see people go from traditional into digital, you know, you can see how that kind of evolves and how it comes into play. But I mean, just back to what I was saying, you know, it's like digital now. It's just such a whole different world. So it's like you do have some people that are educated and schooled. But a lot of the guys that are in the industry that have been around for a while, it's because they liked sculpting. They picked up sculpting at some point and have done it, you know, throughout their life or made it their career or whatever it may be. Now you get a lot of people that are, you know, taking class or they love it and they jump into it fairly quick. But now they're able to make it happen because of the tools, the digital tools and ZBrush and existing models and forums and people they could talk to. Back in the day, good luck finding somebody to help you out. A lot of gatekeeping going on, a lot of people that were very holding things tight and didn't want to share. But now with the advent
from here, we're trying to find a magazine in a shop that comes one time in months, like a Mother's magazine. Say, how the hell they work on this? And I was watching the Super Sculpting and I say, what's that? I mean,
what is that stuff?
That never cure. How you work with that? That is crazy. Yeah. So
and we used to have to send big giant things of epoxy to Martin in Argentina. And the crazy thing was a lot of times that stuff never made it to Martin because it would get caught in customs and the government was always a little sketchy out there, and they'd be like, "What is this?" But they thought it was something weird, and they just keep it, or it would never make it, or vice versa. Martin would have a sculpt, and we'd be worried about it making it back to us because the thing would have to get physically shipped.
Yeah, that was one of the big,
And they thought, who knows? Are they smuggling stuff in this? Well, this makes no sense. They're seeing these figures because the collecting industry wasn't a worldwide thing the way it is. So they're seeing these and what the hell is this? And we'd get stuff that was broke.
Parts, goods, stuff.
They always thought there was some nefarious
foam inside a big box of cardboard and then by FedEx.
It was it's funny because I haven't really thought about it much for a while, but back in those days it was problematic because we were crossing our fingers that a sculpt that Martin had been working on
that
for
was
6 months
shipping from here, getting the tracking number and doing all the days follows.
Fingers crossed.
Hey, please let me know when the ship arrives. And if that's okay. Yeah, exactly. It's like the child. You are sending your child to your parent in the country, and
by themselves.
He's arrived well. How is he?
We still do that with our Sideshow tracking numbers. We still please, we're so excited it's coming.
Now you can
hear okay.
Now
it's been a while, but there was
zip it over.
It's been a while, but there was a guy on Facebook. I think it's been like a year, and he was like, "There's a giant hole in my statue base," and when he posted pictures, I'm like. He's like, it went through customs. Like, oh yeah, they drilled into it and they were looking for drugs. That's what happened.
Yep, they will do that.
That's brutal. Daniel, take us into the Sideshow boardroom. What does that look like whenever you guys are trying to make decisions right now? Because obviously, the industry has changed the last 4 or 5 years. Things are up, things are down here and there. But whenever you guys are trying to figure out, okay, what do we do next? Where do we go? Which characters do we make? How does that look? What is that process like?
Well, it's not an easy process. It's every day we're checking community, we are checking the market, we're checking sales, we're checking, all the numbers and all the things, all the data we have, and also sometimes. We have some obligations with licensors, so there's many variables we have in order to pick a project or the right project. Sometimes we just feel it. Sometimes it's just as it's been a while we are not working in this project and this character, and maybe people in the community is looking for it. So when we locked one character or a couple of characters, we start designing with the illustrators. Usually we go with Rachel Long, Ian McDonald, Rachel. We have many people at Sideshow who are very good at putting designs and ideas into paper, into illustrations, to the illustrations, and we'll go over many times over these designs with the DMs, which is design managers Ricky Lobas and Eric Scoggin, Anthony.
Yep, Scoggins. Yep,
Scoggin. And it's a fun process, and I would say there's no big secrets. There's no really I remember having conversations with some other collectors saying, "Hey, it's like what do you exactly to come out with an idea? It's like I do have a very specific process, and sometimes it's not. It's just an idea. It's like, hey, I don't know. We have everyday meetings and regular meetings and check-ins with every people at Sideshow, and sometimes it's like, hey, I have an idea, man. What about this character? Like, that's interesting. Let's start, working, doing some designs. And then you went through the whole approval process, with the licensor. First, internally, we review these designs internally, and if we are okay with what we have, then we proceed to show it with licensor. Licensor is fine, it's okay with it. Then we do this 3D concept, which is a proof that the 2D concept will work in the real world. Because sometimes ideas in 2D is like seeing a cool pose in a comic book, and then you think it will look awesome in 3D, and then when you're testing the 3D, it doesn't really look really good from every angle. So you want to make sure that those decisions, the decision you're putting in the 2D really translate to a 3D very well, right? And even when we have this 3D and it doesn't, it has the essence of the 2D illustration, sometimes we have to change things, and it deviates a little bit from the 2D concepts because of these things, because we can take better decisions. We can make better decisions when we have it in 3D, and sometimes we even 3D print these things so we can see it in person. And when you see it in person, not in your computer, not in any other 2D flat screen, even the software can recreate, a perspective and stuff like that pretty well. It's never designed. You can't compare. The only thing that it compares with is I brought those Oculus, those
yes, yes, yep. Mm-hmm.
So I remember, I don't know if you remember, and that we were at Sideshow last time, and we had a complicated piece that in ZBrush was kind of, we were having a hard time to figure it out, composition and stuff like that, and not only pose, size especially, right, because this is a big piece. And then I had this idea of, hey, what if we try in this Oculus, because you can kind of you can see through. You can see the whole room, and then put that thing in 3D like it's printed, and then you can just walk around and see it, and it worked pretty well. So we have many ways to just test these 2D concepts in the 3D world. It could be physical work, could be 3D, just an environmental 3D. But then it's hard, because that piece probably will have to stay, or better say, it will take around 2 years from the initiation to the moment you see it. And as you know, in 2 years, market could change significantly. Many things happen. It could, the macroeconomics, the all the micro stuff, or what people love, what people don't love anymore. Any TV show really kills something, or actually make it much better, or a comic or whatever,
or a whole bunch of unlicensed pieces come out that are
was exactly I was to mention.
Because, that's always
really now they come with this. So when bring up the piece, we was working 2 years on that. Sideshow copied that piece.
That's the worst part, because
that's what I was thinking with because you guys just showed the Kingpin, and I was like, "Wow, that's perfect timing," because it just came back on Netflix. No, it used to be Netflix. That was Disney. But Disney. So that's been sitting for a while. And you're just kind of like holding it, like, okay, it's like
it wasn't sitting, but the development time on it is significant. Yeah. So it's not like, hey, let's predict development on this to hit when Daredevil and stuff and starts hitting, or Kingpin. It just that is more like serendipity. But because I'd seen there was some talk where they were like, oh, that must have been an old piece they were just sitting on, and then found the time was right and introduced it. And that definitely wasn't. We wished we could do stuff like that, but we don't. We don't have the. There's no way we would be able to develop something and just. I mean, there are times where we develop something, we sit on it, but it's not because we're looking for some kind of right moment with the collectors. It's usually a right moment for Sideshow to integrate it into the scheduling and into when we want to release it, accordingly. But it's a rarity that we're able to get the opportunity to make the stars align and go, hey, this is great. Let's make this. I mean, if that was the case, you would have seen other pieces that would have hit,
on time.
Not even on time, but just with like things that are like, that are dominating the nerdverse. It's like, wow, this fits right in, or a holiday. To realize how difficult it is, like, and not to take away from what Danny was talking about, but just like the Krampus. We showed that a long time ago, but it's like, if something more important, meaning like a licensed piece, decides to take precedent, which the licensed pieces are always the ones that we have to focus on. We love doing the original stuff, and it allows us to be creative and spread our wings without having any restraints from a licensor. But at the end of the day, we have commitments and we have things that we're trying to hit with licensed products. So it's like if we intended, say, for example, Krampus, all right, it's done. This isn't going to take too long. We can hit Christmas and this is going to be great. Well, it could turn into, meetings and whatever and go, no. We got a Joker or a Batman or a Doc Ock or whatever it may be. That this is way more important. Krampus can wait. As much as the fans might want it for Christmas or Halloween or whatever, it's going to have to wait. And so those are like weird situations. I'm just using Krampus as an example. But I mean, we're always working on original things or, whatever it may be. But it's the release dates are really, there's a lot that goes into it. But I mean, just going back to what Danny was saying, like sometimes it could take, I've been on other shows saying, well, it's about 12 months to get it through development.
Yeah, it's like
Danny's talking 2 years because the idea could pop up early on and it could start gestating and admin will be talking about it and we start talking about pricing and whatever it may be. And then once it goes into design, well, now we're drawing up 4 designs. And then it goes into design. Everybody's looking at it, vetting it. Well, we like this one. Okay, we like this one. All right, get it to the licensors, whatever. The process, pack that onto like, okay, I don't know, 40, 50 SKUs that are going on at the same time, as opposed to just one, then it extends the time out. So it's a long process because there's so many cogs in the machine that are going because
we can put some pressure
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say that we can put some pressure on some products and then try to release them earlier, but at the same time that will create some domino effect in the older pieces.
Absolutely.
And we have to be very mindful about what it takes, when you just want to release something, that it should go with the, I don't know, this movie release or this specific release. We know that that has a cost, and sometimes we have to play, and then people sometimes will not understand, and they say, hey, why Sideshow comes sometimes, late in the game or whatever. Well, it's because we're making a lot of stuff, and we try to be. We want to make sure that everything we release, it releases with the quality we want, and quality doesn't mean just what you see. Is the whole thing, is the design, is the execution, is the variables we are dealing with. Sometimes we have something we have designed into the 3D, and then it goes to the development process, which is the execution of the sculpting. And then we can take a look, or someone else take a look and says, I don't know, that arm looks kind of weird. Or maybe we could add this thing, or maybe we can remove this thing. And then we review it as a team and say, oh, man, yeah, that's just true. Let's just take this time. And then that will create some delay, but we want to give the best of that statue, what we consider the best, So it's a interesting process. It's a complex process, not easy, and that you can multiply that for many projects at the same time.
Do you feel the pressure then from the community? Like an example that like we've been talking about a lot is like an Absolute Batman, because like it's so popular. It's unbelievably popular right now, but obviously if the process takes 2 years, if you had started 2 years ago, you didn't even know it was a thing yet.
Right.
It's like it's just kind of took off.
But the way
you feel the
pressure, you said it's like an extra fee or something. So how's that work with movies?
That's when you roll the dice.
You have like companies like Hot Toys where it feels like the movie comes out and it's like, boom, they have the product out. That it's like an extra fee to do something like that, or they just have advance notice maybe of the movie stuff.
It's a little weird because the licensors for like say Marvel Asia and Marvel here in the States, they're separate entities. So even we deal with stuff sometimes where we're like, how did this company get a drop on this reference? And then you come to find out, because majority of the companies that are around are in Asia. There's PCS and stuff here, but I mean, especially like Hot Toys, they have a whole different relationship and they have different people they deal with, licensors that we don't have to, or that we don't deal with. So sometimes we're just like, I mean, a perfect example is when you see DC, especially like Marvel, like the Japanese market, the Asian market, they don't shy away from cleavage and voluptuous women and guns and violence and all that stuff. And I don't think, and people usually equate it to going like, man, Sideshow dropped the ball. They didn't do this and didn't do that. And it's like, no, we didn't drop the ball. We cannot do that. The licensors definitely do not allow that to happen. Well, such and such is doing it. Absolutely. They can. We can.
Different rules.
It's different rules for different licensing regions and stuff. So
it's got to be pretty frustrating.
Like the Batman,
it is
not the Batman, the absolute comics. I love those comics, but maybe it's too late to enter in the game. Because some other companies they already entered, and by the time we have the chance, maybe it's too late. Maybe people don't want it anymore.
They're tired of it, or every other company did a version of it.
Exactly, and that creates a very possible risky project. And when that happens, we have to make decisions and say, okay, maybe this is not the time. Maybe next time. Maybe if they release something new, we can catch you earlier. That will be the time. Yeah. It's not that we, and it's kind of hard to explain, but it's not that we don't see it earlier. It's by the time we see it. It's a bet. We don't know how popular it will be. About the time it's popular, sometimes too late. So
it's the same.
Especially
thing with movies.
So radical transformations on the character, right?
Yeah.
Because you have the dark.
Yeah, you don't know if anybody's going to buy into that.
Yeah, well, but
there was
some
apparently is
awesome. And there was some character with some hard splits on the original designs. But with this one, the main character is completely different. It's a giant one. It's
all new. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The Joker is a giant demon lizard things, or maybe for a comic it's interesting, but how will be that on the taste of the collectors?
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't know if the fans are going to embrace it. And they're not going to embrace it till it's already out and they've read it and they're like, I like the story. Wow.
Yeah.
You're not going to come out with a statue anytime
for physical stuff. The relationship between the characters, the scales are. I mean, Batman is giant. It's a big monster. It's like a hulky Batman, but still is small in comparison with Bane or in comparison with the Joker. Or it's how you will keep that in scale. I mean, you go 1/4 scale. How? You will make one character only, or you will do some companion, or how you will be handled that things about the scales. And collectors are very picky about that things. Yeah. Hey, that is not the proper relationship with the characters. So
I think too, if you ask like this panel, I think most of us would rather just have the traditional characters. There is that I would love to have an absolute Batman, but I don't really care about all the other villains. I would just want the Batman. But like for me, and Dan, I think you would probably agree with about more traditional when you say like, I think Dan and I would love to have a Two-Face or a Ra's al Ghul or a Professor Pig, some of those characters that have never been done in Sideshow style,
Well, Daniel Bow's sitting right there, so you could.
Yeah, so
please. I know what you're doing. He's like, we might.
I'm taking notes. Taking notes.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say,
move your hands, looking like you are writing.
I'm taking notes in my brain.
That's right. I have a question. Go ahead, Jeff.
So, do you get pressure from DC and Warner Brothers to jump onto characters that are super hot in the comics right now, like Absolute Batman?
Good occasion.
It all depends. I mean, I don't deal with the licensors. Danny might deal, but I know in the past.
No. Yeah, I would say no.
Yeah, in the past there was more comic wise. I don't ever recall them pushing a comic, but they'll definitely push a movie.
Oh, right.
Because I mentioned before to where there's times in the past where, and it's just not with us, but with other companies where there'll be an embargo on a character, which basically means you can't make any version of, say, just hypothetically Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No Spider-Mans for a year or whatever, because we got a movie we're working on that's coming up, and we might have something that we had planned or whatever, and we're like, well, we can't do it. And then the fans might be clamoring and just going, because they know a movie's coming out. So they're going, we need to be doing a Spider-Man. The movie's going to be out next year. What's going on? And we're like, we can't. that we can't do it. You know,
I would assume an example of that would be
Star Wars,
the last Superman film. You guys had a premium format shown really pretty quickly. Obviously, you guys ended up retooling the portrait, and I think it looks fantastic. But that one felt like there was maybe some pressure there to get that one out quickly.
I think it was more an opportunity rather than a pressure. You know, we had a window of opportunity, then we went for it, and then we made some, I would say, rush decisions, and that's why we came out with a better portrait, as you just mentioned. And we learn. You know, we learn from the mistakes we make, and then I think, you know, the community deserves all the best. So that's why we came out with this new portrait, saying, hey, we can do it very good, and this is how it can. Let me show you. Let us show. So I think we don't have, at least not as I remember, we don't have the pressure for licensor. I think sometimes we have maybe, hey guys, it would be great if you can make that project or that character, you know, but never a pressure. I think the pressure comes more for the community itself, as someone asked before, earlier, you know, and it's hard to fulfill the pressure and please everyone, because even let's say you want that that villain that you were looking for forever and no any other company made, and then we make it, and then you will say, but that's not the pose I want.
Not the one I want.
Yeah, it's not the one I want, right? So then we take the risk. We made the risk because of, you know, a few people in the community, you know, they were at loud was saying, hey, we want that piece, and then but that's not the pose. I felt I want a more dynamic.
Easy pass.
And if you do dynamic and then it costs a lot, they will say, but that's so pricey, you know. So it is hard. It is.
Yeah, it's tough, and it's also, you know, an ongoing process of on trying to see what the fans are gravitating to, and that's difficult on its own. Do they just want the embodiment of a specific character? Do they want a specific artist of that character, you know, that did that character? And I'm speaking strictly from comic book end of it. And a lot of times when we decide, like, oh, this is, you know, because all of us are big nerds and familiar with stuff. We all have our things that we're into specifically. But I think because we're such an artist-driven company, when we look at these things, we also look at it from a design aspect, composition, details, dynamics. There's all these things that, and this isn't to take anything away from the community itself, but sometimes they don't care about that. And you see that a lot of times in like unlicensed pieces or stuff that comes out quick. And, you know, I traverse the different shows and they'll be like, well, here's like look at this unlicensed piece. And everybody's going, this is the best thing ever. And I'll see it from a viewpoint and from an artistic viewpoint. I'm like, this is not good. And you know, it's like
anatomy.
Like the anatomy, like nobody's arm does this. Nobody can frown and smile with their lips.
The scale of the textures on the outfit is giant in proportion with the size of the piece.
Exactly. There's all these things that we take in consideration that we're like, we're nailing it. We got it. This makes sense. The waist would bend this way. All of this stuff that comes as a whole. It's not just the character, including paint and everything else that comes with it. And then sometimes you just see people that just want what they want because it's a character and they don't think of anything else about it. And it's like, how do you go about, and I think the shows are a perfect springboard to kind of, without sounding like pompous or anything, but just saying, like, educate, like why these were done this way, or why this looks this way, or why, you know, you can't go and knock somebody else's piece and go, well, this is why this is no good, but you can go and say, this is why we did what we did. And hopefully it kind of like, once again, educate, inform. Doesn't mean everybody's going to like it. Once again, it goes back to me saying it's art, and art is it's up to the person that's looking at it, you know?
Absolutely.
So, you know,
but also there is another factor. Sometimes people speak like if one's made things lazy, right? There's a lot of work behind each
these guys
piece.
aren't doing any. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
If they only knew.
And it's not with any intentions to hurt anyone. By the contrary, you are putting your best on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. On the end, maybe it's a different perspective from the viewer.
It might not resonate with the
exactly, but it's the reaction. Sometimes it's like, hey guys, I mean, yes, it's a company, but it's people working behind that, and all related with the art. It's a lot of passion and it's love in what you do, and you apply there.
Yeah,
it's obviously it's a commercial transaction there because
there's so many facets to all of that.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I see collectors that talk about, like, let's just say, like, there's a lot of Predators on the market. I'm a big Monster fan, big Predator guy from all the way since it came out in '87 and everything. And you see like the younger group, even though I consider when I go to these things, it feels like everybody's the same age because we're all nerds and we're talking about the same thing. But I'll see guys, like it was just recently with Prime One had released the Alder Predator, which is one of my favorite characters from the second movie. And if you're a big fan, you know the story behind it and why it's so sought after by real Predator fans and stuff. All of a sudden I see people that see it come out and they're like, that's not my favorite one. And I don't know what's up with that pose. And I'm not sure if that paint's right. I like the one from AVP, the one wearing a cape. And in my head, I'm going, what are they talking about? That's the worst Predator that anybody, but then you realize it's like, all right, well, these guys didn't grow up and weren't ingrained in the second movie. They might think that movie sucks. And it's basically that type of mentality kind of embodies all the aspects of what we collect and stuff, whether it's Batman, Predator, I'm a huge dinosaur guy and it's like Jurassic Park reigns supreme now, but I love Jurassic Park, at least the first ones. I love dinosaurs in general, but I'm sick of seeing Jurassic Park dinosaurs. I'm more into scientific, accurate. I used to paint dinosaurs for years, life-size dinosaurs, and so I'm a little bit more nerdy. So when I see that stuff and people fawning over these like weird dinosaurs from an awful Jurassic Park movie and they're thinking that's the best thing, I'm just going, what is going on here? Like, what is it's like, for the lack of better words, I'm like, fake news. This is wacky. Not that they're not done good or done well or anything. It's just like, wow, this is what the fan base is gravitating to, and it's just shows the, whether it's an age difference or just basically what people like. And we're always trying to figure that out. And it's a very difficult thing because, we have a panel of, 7 people right here. And I guarantee you, everybody's going to see things a little bit different. And, at the end of the day, you got to have a concise decision on where you're going to go with it.
Except for one thing. There's one thing that the community all agree upon, and it's this right here.
Yes.
Sideshow is coming back to San Diego Comic-Con, and I am freaking excited. I'm going to be there with my son. I'm so freaking excited. I know Mr. Delaney's going to be there. I'm going to hang out with him, and we are going to have a blast. So my question is, obviously, Sideshow has, done the Sideshow Con kind of since COVID, around that time-ish. Why now? Why come back to San Diego Comic-Con now?
It's a tough question because there's many things happening in the middle, and I think I said the other day in COC show, we were just waiting for the right time to, go back and make sure that, it was going to be as good as we want and present all the statues we want and do the show we wanted to do. And in the meantime, we try and test it with very successfully our, the Sideshow Con. And Sideshow Con, I know, is different, but it came from the pandemic where, all the events disappeared. And then we had to kind of reinvent the way we were showing stuff. So I think we just took the right amount of time. Maybe for some people were too much time. We all wanted to go back, but it wasn't that easy, so we just waiting for the right time to come, and it is the right time to come back, and you will see it, and you will more than pleased with all the things you will see. It will be fun. We changed a lot of the structure. We in the way we're going to present our stuff, and actually the actual booth will be a little bit different. You'll enjoy it. You'll like it. Can't say much, but you'll like it.
Do you have as much room? Do you have the same space on the floor? still, or is it new location?
In terms of size of play,
both.
I'd say it's a little bit, probably is a little bit smaller, probably because the distribution we want to use, it's more, I would say, it's a little bit different, different purpose. So, and the place, I don't know exactly.
Yeah,
the same location.
The location is different. It's not the same space.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's where J. Scott Campbell was last year, and that was kind of the traditionally area, right? That's where Sideshow was before.
Yeah, we were always kind of like in that, almost in the center. Across from DC, next to Marvel. But I don't know the exact location, but from what I'm hearing, it's moved from that area. So it'll be new for everybody, but in a good way, like Danny said. To add to that, cool. It did all come down because of the pandemic. Everything shut down, and I think we had to weigh it and see what was going on. And the thing is it's not good business, nor is it good if we set up and go into a con and nobody's going to the cons. It's like, it doesn't make sense. And that's kind of how it was. There was, if you had your diehards that couldn't be torn away from the cons once it was allowed, but on a grander scheme, the attendance was down, people. So, how are we going to reach out to fans, our core audience, if we're going to be at a con and nobody's there? The thing is we do Sideshow Con, we channel them directly in, and the thing is we will still have a Sideshow con that is like kind of, so it's almost like going to be like two cons, so there'll be the one people can make out there, and there'll be the one that we have online that also shows.
Same time.
It might be right before or at the same time, but it's not going to be spaced.
Yeah, you guys always had like the Wi-Fi issues when you were live, so it sounds better if you're like in house doing the broadcast.
And then... Yeah. So it should be fun, and I think we're, especially now, because we're engaging with the fans more. Myself and Danny and Martin. We had went to StatueCon a few years ago, and we got to meet a lot of people, and
shout out to Marcos.
Yep. Yeah. And the things kind of loosened up to where Sideshow was like, you know what, let's engage with the fans, because it's a minefield that you get yourself into when you start dealing with the public, and that's just with anything. But with that came
but the feeling to be next to the piece.
Absolutely,
physically, and
nothing better.
I mean, I fly to Japan just to go look at stuff that I'm into every year, and unfortunately, and just to back up what we're saying about Comic-Con, I was going to Japan every year to go to a show called Wonderfest, and that's Japan's huge show that's been going on for ages, and it's one day, it's 3 times the size of San Diego, and it's one day.
There's like 1 billion people there.
It's one day, and it's 3 times the size of Comic-Con, and it's just figure model kits and monsters and stuff. They have one section that is product like Prime One, Sideshow, but the other 2 halls are all that. And I would fly out there just for that, and I was going out there 5-6 times. But right when COVID hit, the show was going on, and I was like, COVID. Still wasn't sure what was going on, and I'm like, this could be my last show for a while. I don't know if I should go out there. And I just said, screw it. And I jumped on a plane and went out and met a friend from Italy and a friend from Korea. And we all took the chance and went out there. And thank God we did, because right after that, all hell broke loose. Italy's on shutdown. Asia's all upside down. So I didn't make it back to Japan for 5 years. It didn't seem like it, but I went back this year, the beginning of this year. And I hadn't been out there since COVID. And it was like Martin was saying, and Danny, it's like, there's something about, I was seeing pictures of the shows that were still going on, and attendance was down and all this other stuff. But being there, it was just like reinvigorating, inspiring. You see all this stuff, you get to meet old friends again. And because it really is about that. It's not just looking at stuff. You get to meet buddies and talk. And
the energy around that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that was the one thing that was unfortunate, was that Sideshow wasn't part of that because of our absence and because of COVID and everything. But now we're focused to get back in there, and even more so, I think, majority of the artists or project managers or stuff are going to be there. So we're even going to be there, even if it's going to be a little bit smaller. We're not going to have a bunch of various people running around where, you might have fans that are going and talking to people that aren't the artists, or they're looking for somebody specific. But now we're going to be a little bit more focused to where we'll be able to engage and talk a little bit more about the process and product and everything else.
We've been talking for a while since you guys have done Sideshow Con about just how important it is to have eyes on product, new eyes on product. Is that the goal of this con? Obviously, I mean, the hardcore collectors are going to be there, but is that the focus, is to bring in that new audience? I would assume you guys are always looking to bring
it's always
new collectors into the hobby.
Yeah, always new collectors, but also for the hardcore collectors. I mean, the people like you that love these with passion, just to see again our statues and all the new releases and prototypes and stuff like that. I mean, the fun stuff. I think it's meant for everyone. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, new collectors, of course, 100%. And these kind of shows I think is the best window of opportunity to bring, the people who wants to enter in the collectibles, and they not quite sure, because as I don't know if Eric or Jeff, who was talking about the the kind of first experience of having these collectors in front of you. Mm-hmm. It's really important, because sometimes you have to decide to pay something that you don't know how it looks like. You only know it from photos or videos, or someone else that maybe have something in their shelf in the house. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I would say the experience. We want to offer an experience for everyone, and I think that's why it's important to go and to visit us at San Diego.
It's so different from anything else that's at the convention, because anybody that's been at a convention, you walk around, it gets boring. It's the same booth, vendor after another. Is you have your comics, it's cool, but then everything else is kind of like little knickknacks and stuff like that. And then you would go through Sideshow or whatever company, and you have like this museum type setup. To where it doesn't matter if you're a statue collector, you're going to be impressed by it, and it's going to catch your attention.
Yeah. So, that was the thing when Jeff and I were there the last time Sideshow was there, and Jeff and I were walking around, and my favorite part was just watching other people react to it. Like, people you could tell had never seen stuff like this. They're like, "Wow, look at this thing! Look how cool that is!" Yeah. Like that's what the community and the passion's all about. To see that excitement, and that's exactly what Sideshow is going to bring to San Diego. And I'm getting goosebumps. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, every year. I mean, just to add to that, every time we'd always do kind of like a post-mortem of, when we're at the show or whatever, and talk about what's going on and stuff. And it was always like, you take it for granted being in the business for 30 years that, and Sideshow will pop up on your YouTube, or, every time you turn around, it's popping up that everybody knows something about it. But there's always a fair amount that never, who are you guys? What is this? What do you do? They've never seen any of this stuff, because they just don't live in the world that all of us live in. Yeah. We're all accustomed. And when I say all of us, I'm not talking about Danny, myself, and Martin. I'm talking about the collectors, because I think we get a little myopic and go, everybody knows that this stuff exists. Yeah. Everybody knows this. And you realize it's like, no, you don't. You have no clue, not only no clue of people that don't know it, but that aren't as passionate as hardcore collectors. There's some people that'll buy one or two pieces because maybe their husband likes it, or their kid, and that's almost like chumming the waters. Hopefully they'll be like, all right, you like one piece, you're going to like 20 more pieces down the road, or whatever it may be.
God's honest truth. I am hit up weekly by multiple collectors that say, I am new to this hobby. Where can I buy this? Where can I discover this thing? And I always direct them to Sideshow first. And because to me,
appreciate it.
You guys are the standard bearer, and you have been forever. And it's been, there's all these other great companies as well, but Sideshow for me has been consistent. The prices have been consistent overall. I mean, people can complain about high or low or whatever.
There's always fluctuation.
Always fluctuated. But at the end of the day, like, Sideshow is the standard bearer. And I'm just, like you said, it's amazing to think that there's still people that haven't heard of Sideshow, but there are. And people are still, every week, still stumbling upon this great hobby.
If I could bring up
fun to see
2 suggestions, and maybe you guys are already aware of it. So I was the one that mentioned my first experience. I'm sure that was most of us on the panel here, seeing them in person. The way you guys definitely hooked me is you were doing a free giveaway. It was for like a Deadpool 1/6 figure. and it got me on the mailing list. So even though I wasn't able to purchase something at the booth, you caught my attention because like a few days later or whatever, a week later, now all of a sudden I'm on the mailing list. The other thing is maybe you guys should have like product that you could sell at the booth or at least take orders at the booth. This way for people that are at the booth and like, you know, when you see things the first time, it's like, oh, it's just a pre-order, to where, you know, there's stuff where they can actually physically buy it. I know a lot of this stuff is large. You can't really carry it home, but
we used to do that at the shows. I mean, we used to do it just like back in the day when there was a point in time at those shows where they had, you know, the booths, all the various booths had exclusives, which they still do, which always, it would create huge lines and it would create the hype.
Yeah.
But also security would come by. If you create too much hype, they would shut things down, and that became problematic. But we found we evolved to where, because I remember having to man those booths, and you know, it's like what the velvet rope at a nightclub or something, and it was just like, this is crazy, and it takes away from actually engaging with fans or some other stuff where you're just a bouncer trying to get people to move through, and you have to set up people to do all that. But our solution was, okay, we'll open it up for people could go on the site and order, and they might get free shipping or whatever if they order. And we had worked that out, and that had been going on for a long time. And I don't know how it's evolved since then, but it almost set a precedent with other booths, because they realized, you know what, do we really need to cram up our booths with people waiting in line that are wrapped and people with signs and doing traffic guard control? And they realize, well, they're getting their exclusives, they can just order online. It's the same thing. If they're quick to get it online and they get on that also allows them to get on the mailing list, you know, and network everything through, and it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, I'm not sure what they have set up. They'll probably have special setup online, but as far as I know, at least at this show, there's
Danny's doing like this.
Right.
So
trying to sell.
I can't really say anything because there's some
secret
information that I'm not allowed to say. But
yeah. I'll say all the stuff, and then
more...
Danny could be like,
just
blame him. He's saying too much.
Will any of you guys be able to be at the show so we can meet you guys?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, that's awesome.
I'm going. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So Danny's in the U.S. now, right? You said that earlier.
No, I'm 2 weeks away from moving to the U.S. So I'm still in Argentina. Yeah, I'm moving in less than 2 weeks.
What about Martin? Martin, still in Argentina, or you're in the U.S.?
Right now, Argentina, and then Spain, and then Argentina, and then Spain. Like that.
Martin's international. I'm moving to Argentina.
Hey, there you go.
Here? Okay, nice.
The way things are going in the United States, it might not be a bad idea to head down there. You know, I think we're all going to head to Argentina. I'm right there with you.
You're more than welcome.
To my house.
Yeah, there you go. Hey.
There's something in the water there. You become a good sculptor if you live out there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I know. I'm sorry I've kept you guys longer than I was going to keep you guys. So I do apologize. But Danny, you had some things you were going to maybe show us? Did you want to show us a few things?
Yeah, I think I don't know if you want Martin show first. What you want to show?
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Danny. I also sent you a picture right when we were coming online on your email.
Really?
Yeah.
Email?
So yeah. So you might want to, and then you could populate that on whatever.
Before doing anything.
No, he could just have it ready when he shows what he wants to show. It'll just be something he can add to it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys can. I'm a spectator. You guys can bring up whatever you want.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll go over to Martin then, and you can kind of show us what you have cooking with some Mr. Killer Croc here.
Yeah, it's the small. Yeah.
There's nothing small about it.
Nothing small about this amazing statue right here. Again, I'm showing some photos on the screen.
Martin's
this is sculpted
angry
by
that
Martin.
people think it's tiny.
Not tiny at all.
It's not at all. Trust me, I had to move that thing around the building. It's not tiny.
It looks heavy.
It was a pain in the butt.
It's awesome. Well, and it's just awesome. And it again, there was and this is another kind of behind the scenes. This is from our friends over at COC. Great bunch of guys, and so I want to give them a shout out on Thursday nights. Definitely check out their show.
And that thing looks, I mean, it's big, but that makes it look even bigger than what it is, because there's a little bit of foreshortening in the fisheye, because that was my hand.
There you are.
Yeah, this was me just trying to hold it up and discussing paint, and this is an in progress shot. This wasn't even finished, but it gives you an idea of the size of it.
I don't know. I'm sharing something or not?
Yeah, we can see it up on the screen right here. They're digital renders. Yeah, we can see it.
You're going through a crazy slideshow of stuff.
Oh, it's so cool to see these digital renders.
This is actually a 3D file from ZBrush.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Look at the texturing on that.
This is where Martin lives, in the computer on all of this.
You know what is even crazy? All those textures were made by hand.
Yeah, there's no stamp or no alpha.
Which means that Martin was thinking to place every single of these scales, by hand. And it has a lot of handwork, which is awesome. Always seeing from Martin and learning from Martin, even if I spend years and years sculpting, there's something always you can learn from people like with that amount of experience like Martin. So
I love the way you did all the different.
Thank you so much, Danny.
Yeah, and just to add to that, just so Martin's head doesn't get even bigger. But the cool thing about doing it this way, like Danny says, all of this stuff is hand done. A lot of times you see sculptors that'll do, symmetry and it starts making things look a little, especially when you're trying to do an organic character like this, meaning organic, natural, like monstery shapes and stuff. When you put on symmetry, it ends up making it look kind of fake and weird, but even if you do sculpt in symmetry and start adjusting, then you go in and you work the details by hand, which is, what Martin has done in this. And it, even if you're not aware of why it looks cool or what you're looking at, if you really think about it, nothing is mirrored. It's everything has its own place. Like one scoop might be twisted a little bit this way, and one might have a little character this way, and this tooth is this way, and there might be a little molar that's going in this way, and the other one's going the other way. And all of those things matter when you see it as a whole, as you can see in all these in these photos or in the render here.
It's all part of storytelling. It's all, that's what it is, storytelling.
Is there a discussion in the development process as to the level of detail? I mean, Killer Croc, I think, is one of the most detailed pieces you guys have ever put out. Some other pieces are less detailed.
No, there is some. There's a lot of pieces on Court of the Dead that have a.
Yeah, Court of the Dead.
That's just Martin going crazy.
Textures. Yeah. The tiles.
Hey, what do you want to say? I did so many awesome pieces as well with plenty of detail, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Danny just does anatomy. Nobody cares about it.
No, I think we were talking about in general Sideshow. Not in particular. Yeah. I'm just trying to move this big collection of polygons and 105 million polygons trying to don't crash the machine.
Yeah, that's my personal bias, just because I'm into monsters and texture and crazy stuff more than comic books. So don't take offense, Danny.
Well, at the core, monsters for me is Sideshow. Like Sideshow started out kind of in the monster verse, and so to see these characters come to life, that's another reason I really want you guys to do Two-Face, because I think you guys would kill it.
Once again, kill it. Sideshow came from a time when movies dominated, and these characters in these movies like Predator and Alien and all these, we had a bigger pull of things to pull from, selections that we could pull from. Nowadays it's gotten kind of, it's the same, and it's kind of watered down, and we're not seeing that type of content, at least not from the movies, of some of these characters that we used
rat here.
Yeah. Paddling for his life.
Swimming. This small one is called Richard, Little Richard.
Little Richard.
But it's not from the Richard there. It's the Richard from the Richard here.
Ratatouille.
Policeman hat.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Have a policeman hat here too. So he have a very open diet, right?
Just so you know, when we started this, Martin had even more stuff under there, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
There's too much stuff under there. Even pull a couple things out from under.
Well, that's my way. I put all together and then start cleaning up, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Who had the decision in the development process? Who had the decision to kind of make it a companion piece to continue on where Penguin left off? Because these both go hand in hand. They look so good together.
And was that done on first? So was Croc the idea first, and then to do Penguin? Because
Penguin was first. Penguin was first, and we kind of with the success and the way Penguin turned out, just from a statue point, and it looks great. That's me thinking. I think a lot of people love that piece, but me personally, I think it came out awesome.
The Penguin. I really love the idea, the dynamic.
Yeah, and when Martin started on this, and we seen. There was the idea, the concept of him being in the sewer and everything, which is, of course, it goes with the character. But there was talk where it was just like, well, if we're going to do it that way, we need to lift the water up like we did similar to Penguin. It wouldn't be as dramatic because he's in the sewer, and it's not that deep, and everything else. But it was the perfect opportunity. Plus, there's a way you have to. I spoke about this on COC. Whenever you model water, it's a tough thing to do. And this comes from me building models, and I've always been obsessed with modeling water and showing underwater, and I was always into dioramas. But the thing is you don't want to constrict yourself into like, okay, it's a base and it's water, because it always looks like he's in a cup of water, like a dish of water, So it's like, how do you get around that? Well, you know what it is. So you kind of compositionally, you're saying you just need to create the surface of the water, and it has an organic end, and you can see the underneath, and it ended up working out great because we had already established that with Penguin, and then if you go way back with one of the Court of the Dead pieces, we did the same gimmick where the mermaid is coming up out of the water, and now she's breaking the water surface with her body. You look underneath. Now you have a secondary story to tell from a composition state and from a visual. And it's the same thing with this. If we just did the surface of the water and he's in it and it looked great, you wouldn't get to see the bubbles coming up from between the toes and the foot pounding through the surface of the water, creating the turbulence. You wouldn't see the rat swimming. You wouldn't see Bane's mask. You wouldn't see a horse skeleton. You'd be missing a lot of stuff. So you have that opportunity to create almost a second stage of visual storytelling within that piece.
So Penguin was done by, of course, Maria Panfilova, who we absolutely love. When that piece was first pitched or designed, did you guys feel like that was a risk to have the underwater effect? Because I love it. Penguin's one of my favorites in my collection, but I was wondering if it was kind of like, oh, should we do it? Should we not do it?
Yeah, that's why I was thinking when they showed Croc, I was like, oh, Croc must have been in development first, and they were like,
it was Penguin was way before. I think that all came from, when the design team and it goes in and they start doing, Richard Long starting to do all the drawings and everything. There's always like, if you look when design generates drawings, they'll generate 4-6 different drawings. One of them will always kind of resonate, and that's the one that you go, okay. And the one that resonated was like, oh, look at this. We have penguins breaking the jumping and going underwater. And then it turns into something that's like, is that plausible? Can we do that? And that's kind of where I came in and was like, absolutely. Because I built stuff like this from model kits, and I know how this can work out great. I think we need to push. And then it turns into, all right, does it get vetted? And we're creative, and everybody says, okay, let's go for it and do it. And also you need to go, is this going to throw the budget, somewhere kooky? Is production going to be able to do this? Because the idea is we come up with great ideas all the time, but it kind of boils down to, is this going to be achievable in mass production? Or we know what's going to be problematic, and that's going to cause some problems. And sometimes some of those ambitions are like, well, yeah, we better not do that, which is unfortunate.
But it is stuff like that too that continue to take you to the next level. Right. I mean, the pieces,
especially if you have success on a piece like that, you can go into the next piece and go, we've done that before. And the only thing that would set it back is if maybe we did it with a different factory or somewhere that didn't do that piece. But if we've done it and we get it into a factory that had already done it, accomplished that piece, we know, because then we have the litmus to go, like the control, and go, well, you guys did this. We know you can do this. We go into the factory knowing what they're capable of doing.
And let me just say also, thank you guys so much for doing Man Bat. I love that piece. I am so excited to add that to the collection alongside this croc, and just thank you guys for taking a risk on that character because it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Great too.
Yeah, it looks awesome in person.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Yeah. Cool.
I've kind of hogged the spotlight here, guys. You guys have some questions to ask while we're looking at these renders? Dan or Eric or Jeff?
I wanted to ask, have you guys, getting back to conventions just for a second, have you ever considered having a small presence at like Monsterpalooza to show off the Universal Monster line, or at WonderCon or LA Comic-Con, all these conventions that are really close to your office, that you could have at least a small presence to show new stuff?
At one time, we had booths at Monsterpalooza. I think we were there maybe. I know we were there at least 2 times, maybe 3 times. That was when we were in the middle of doing Court of the Dead. So the funny thing was at Monsterpalooza, it started off when we went to Monsterpalooza. It was, we used that show as, let's bring our own personal pieces to Monsterpalooza and show some stuff that had nothing to do with Sideshow. Okay. That was just projects that we had done, and we set it up, and it was kind of a hit, and it was kind of fun to do. As things go, it turned out to like, okay, well, let's bring Sideshow stuff now. And it's like, wait, what? This was supposed to be an outlet for the artists to stretch their wings and bring some original stuff. And then it went into Court of the Dead and everything else. But I mean, we just haven't went back because it's more of just, I don't know. I think it just, it was a little bit limiting to what we had. Yeah. We had shoes. Now that we have Universal Monsters, it would be great, but at this point, the monsters are already hit. Now, if we end up doing a second line, maybe that could be something up for discussion and say, hey, let's just get a table and display a small set. I mean, I'd be all about it just because that's my realm, and I always go to Monsterpalooza and stuff. So, but we have done stuff because when the monsters first came out, it wasn't a convention, but we showed them at Universal City Walk at the Hollywood.
Oh, that's right. That's
collectible place, and we put together a quick display of all the prototypes of all of the monsters there. It was really fun. People got to see them in person, but a lot of people, it was foot traffic that was coming through there. It wasn't necessarily collectors specific, but we did get collectors in there to see.
But for us too, like we talk about it all the time. It's like, the photography and the production that the companies put into showing the product off, but to us, nothing compares to being able to see it under natural light in a place like that. Like when we got those photos from that showing, like, this is the stuff we fall in love with. We love that.
Same here. I used to pick up if you're familiar with like magazines like Hobby Japan and some of the Japanese magazines. They always have incredible photography, but they also used to always cover like shows and stuff. And I remember every issue I'd be just like ingesting that stuff like crazy. And even the magazine that I used to write for, I was excited, not because I had an article in there. I didn't care about that. I was looking at everything else and coverage of shows and all. There was so much more of that stuff back in the day, pre-internet and everything. A lot of printed magazines and stuff that you just don't see now. Everything is so online that people got used to it. But I agree. You go and see the stuff at shows. There's nothing there. There's no bias other than your 2 eyes. You can go in there and you know what it looks like. You know if you like it. You don't have to go and see photos from somebody's blog or somebody's show or online or somebody's awful photos, which is a pet peeve of mine.
Always
because I look at photos,
people are zooming in too close.
It looks like that doesn't look like it, and the things like googling up against the lens.
First photos are always the worst.
Because those are the ones that take hold and take off, and we even find challenges sometimes of sharing stuff with the community on these shows, to where our intent is, all right, let's engage and show early stuff and everything. But it's a tricky one, because even if you show cool stuff or behind the scenes stuff, people will end up in a matter, if it's out there for X amount of time before they see an update or it's up for pre-order, they'll find a reason to pick it apart, even if they liked it at the beginning, because it's just the way, that's just how it is. The communities, everybody gets to talking and opinions and stuff like that, and start seeing things that it's almost like looking at a Rorschach thing. And it's like, well, I see this and I see this. Well, I don't see that. What are you looking at? And then somebody convinces somebody else that it looks like this. So the best way to get around it is like, see it in person. You'll know exactly how it looks, you know. And I think, you know, being away from the shows, we've gotten away from people being able to get there and seeing it in person, or somebody going, I seen that in person and it doesn't look like that. And then you'll have another, you know, people in their community that go, well, such and such said that it looks awesome. And I know that they're not leading me down the rabbit hole type deal. It's always that like in-person viewing of the pieces.
Yeah, it's a different experience completely.
That's the issue with the internet. You can't please everybody. I was the one that took the croc photo and I put it next to Penguin, and I've shown the other guys, you know, the guys on the panel. We're all like, it looks freaking cool. It looks fantastic.
And so everybody went crazy.
Facebook, and then everybody's like, oh, yeah, he's too short. I'm like, no, it's a photo. And with a quick, you know, rendering. I
think I'd even
here it is right here. This is the famous photo right there. It's too small. Yeah, clearly.
He's going to be massive. He's a massive piece. People are going to probably wish he was smaller when they get the shipping charge.
And it's funny because I'd even tried to get a photo together that we were piecing together on a whim of it next to Penguin, and our graphics department, they have ways of pulling it and getting dimensionally kind of images that look the same. And even our photo, I was like, no, I don't think we need to show that photo because it's not a good representation of it. It looks small, and I was like, no, that's not how it looks. We put a photo out like that, people are gonna go, well, Sideshow just confirmed it looks teeny tiny, and it's like, no.
The depth alone is going to throw it off, because if you take the depth of Croc and the depth of Penguin, if you push Penguin back a little bit, he's going to look a lot smaller. If you push
the thing is you know, with I was talking on the other show, it's like the base, we try to keep the base somewhat reasonable where it can fit on a shelf. So I think a lot of people go, wow, it's super deep, but it's our measurement is from the tip of his nose to the back of the base. The base itself isn't that measurement. We always measure as if it was in a box.
We were actually thinking, well, I don't know, maybe I only said it. Why make the chain shoot out to the left and take up more space instead of having the chain shoot in a different direction?
Martin could answer that. I think it's more of the way the are you talking about which way it goes? Like, why is it going?
Yeah, the chain. The chain. You're worried about space. You have that chain that shoots out like another.
Yeah. Can always do that. Yeah, just flip it around.
That's right. What they did. Well, I just want to, you mentioned it a second ago, Anthony. I just want to take a second too, is just you guys coming on shows like this one or COC. It means so much to the community, because, you know, you guys are part of us, and we love to hear your stories. I mean, some of us obviously, you know, are very hardcore and love the art aspect, where there's some collectors that just like, you know, give me my new statue. I don't care about any of this stuff. But for us, it means a lot. And so thank you guys for just taking time to be part of this community with us.
It's always good to hear. I appreciate it. And thanks for having us on as well. You know,
absolutely.
For the invitations, for the work you do, doing all this, sharing pieces, taking the time to share with the people, to explain, to give another point of view about the piece, because that is important too.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, doing this stuff for years, it's like we live in a bubble sometimes. Not meaning we don't know what's going on, but we're nerding out every day. This is like constant all day. You know, where we're just talking about all this stuff. You know, the same thing like with the groups. It's omnipresent amongst them, but it is as well with us. But more on we're creating this stuff, so we're just talking. So it's refreshing sometimes to be able to get out in the public. You know, just like let's talk to people who are actually they're not on this. They're not, their core thing isn't creating what we're doing. They're consumers. They're enjoying it. They're the people that we're making this stuff for. That so it's always good to see their reaction. Hopefully positive. It's not always fun when we see.
Yeah. Also start to
people that pick forks
mouth shut, because sometimes you know Sideshow is doing some amazing stuff, and you are trying to share with collectors, and they say no, not yet, just quiet, keep quiet.
Be patient. Right? Well, Martin, thank you for sharing yours, and Daniel, you have something to show us also.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He's showing off his muscles.
That's right. Welcome to the gun show.
Mosquito.
Oh man. So this okay, let's start with this. This is a photo of last show, COC show we showed.
That's why I was late. I shot that photo right when we were going on air. I was like, I gotta hurry up and get this photo sent to Danny to bring it.
You want to explain a little bit about this?
Yeah, I mean, this is the character Revan on COC. Danny showed what our next, well, I don't know if it'll be our next, but an upcoming Star Wars piece is, and I didn't even know Danny was bringing it on. So when he showed the, I was like, whoa, Danny's showing this, and we had painted in progress pieces from the factory, and I had happened to grab one just, in the hype and kind of like, let's break all right, Danny's breaking the story, let's bring it up. But unfortunately I was like, hey guys, look at it. I was doing exactly what I hate, which is shitty pictures. But it was like, there's no other way to do this. And I'm just like, hey man, can you see it? Well, this isn't really what it looks like, but trust me, it looks great. And people are going to go, wow, Anthony's full of shit, because he's obviously showing something that looks like Sasquatch, So when I had hit up Danny and I was like, hey Danny, what are you showing? And he was like, this, that, and the other. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go. And I went and raced and had a good photo taken. And once again, this is from the factory. Yeah. So, and
looks like a real photo.
You say paint looks amazing.
The paint came out great.
It looks like a real person, not a real photo.
Yeah, the skin tone and it's very fleshy.
Yeah. So it looks great. And I wanted to, since Danny was gonna share again, I was like, all right, we can't go up with some, let's correct this. So
it's cool, man. That's cool.
Build one photo. That's all you guys get is one painted photo.
Hey, we'll take it. It's awesome. It looks great.
Yeah. But we have another thing to show you is early reveal of a new statue. Is a very early reveal, but the piece is completely fully sculpted. So let me show you. We are talking about this guy.
Whoa, that's cool.
Thing, premium format. So this is a digital render, of course, and we have some other renders I want to show you. But this is it. Nice. Simple piece, very dynamic. It's a monster piece, beautiful. We wanted to make a thing since a while ago. I don't know. I don't remember. Did we make one?
No, we did it. We did one a long
time, right? Yeah,
like that one was traditionally
over 10 years ago, right? Over 10 years.
That was
it's kind of got like that.
I sculpted it.
Tony Cipriano, right?
Yeah.
And Pablo Vijano made a small one
in the
Rama line. Yeah, with the four fantastic
four. That one was awesome too. The bust was awesome because it was a small, nice composition.
Yeah.
It was very dynamic.
Legendary scale, right? The half scale, the kind of that legendary scale bust. Isn't that what you guys did?
Oh, we also did a legendary scale bust.
I remember that one. Yeah.
He kind of looks like he's got that charging juggernaut pose.
Yeah, exactly. Hulk juggernaut. We also did a maquette. We also had a maquette from the previous movie that was a movie maquette that came Spectral Motion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a big one. Now I'm going down the thing. And we did a big giant 1-to-1 bust as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's the one he was talking about.
No, he did.
No, there was a half scale.
The half scale.
Yeah.
This looks great. Look at
I
the
didn't even realize we did that many things until now that we're talking about it.
Yeah, man. This is
but nothing like this one. This one is
nothing this one. This was designed by Richard Long, sculpted by Emiliano Calderon. Who is the same sculptor who sculpted latest Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And a few other pieces. So I mean, this is looking amazing. It's when we were making this thing, we were playing around with the options for the base, and we ended up putting this very cool scroll base, part of the ship wreckage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's a lot of movement of this tentacles.
I love the color. The color is amazing. The purple.
Was great. Yeah,
and the color is a digital render that was done in photo.
Yeah.
But that's the intent.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have another option, which is another display option, which is the trunks.
Right?
Oh yeah, the full pants. Yeah,
full pants.
Boots.
So we have full pants and a different base. So this is a more street-based scenario.
Earth.
Wow. So how will that work? Will there be 2 different pre-orders then?
I think they're deciding between this, right?
Can't say yet, but
okay.
We want to see which one you like the most. If you
I like the one with the tentacles. I like the tentacles.
Yeah, I like that you get color on the base with the tentacles.
Like you said, it adds movement to the piece. You know, it's just really well done.
Also, with the other one, you might have an engineering issue with him so far forward in that base kind of being smaller and lighter.
Don't worry about that. This all planned. And he's like, it's all tested.
You guys always do a great job with the engineering. Sometimes we're like amazed, like, how did you do it? But you guys figure out a way.
Yeah, I was thinking back to that Juggernaut. That Juggernaut's still holding up. He's shooting forward a lot.
Oh, the Flash. You remember the Flash?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Rogue's the other one.
Rogue is the other one. Yeah. I mean, we put a lot of time trying to figure out what's the best way to make these things without making any, having any leaning issue, anything. So at the same time, we want to kind of defy gravity, and I think that we started with that Rogue at that time, and we learned a lot from there. And since then, so I think this will be a nice piece, especially because when you see it for example, just kind of answer your no question, but about that leaning thing, is the whole distribution of these mass is balanced on
the center of gravity.
From this angle, I see it now.
Yeah, right. But when you see it from here, it looks like it gives you the impression that it's going to fall, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the illusion of movement. So if you make it too planted, it gives, I think it kills that motion, the sense of motion. So I think it's, just try to find the balance.
Yep.
Some people are asking if is there a possibility that it could be the Fantastic Four family over time?
We'll see how it goes.
There's always a possibility. There's always a possibility.
Yeah,
that's always good to hear, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you.
So cool. Awesome.
If you heard last time we were with our friends of COC, I mentioned that I wanted to, once I get that Sideshow in a couple of weeks, I wanted to start exploring ideas with the community, kind of showing more early processes, like showing you guys early concepts, ideas, and sometimes the 3D stuff. So see we really want to see what you think early on. Not just for and it's not about validation. It's about, hey, we really care about these things. We understand it takes some time to get, and we want to make it good. And by the time these pieces are released, we really want to make sure that it has all the things we would love to have. Could be an exclusive option, could be just a change in the pose on the arm, and anything. I think it's kind of cool for us to have that kind of, I would say, to kind of read the temperature. If you like it, if you don't like it, why you don't like it, to have that feedback from you. I think is very important. When I was a sculptor, I have this, I said the same thing all the time. Like, hey, just send me your feedback. Maybe sometimes it's too late for me sometimes at that time to make all these changes, but I will keep it in mind. Well, maybe now it's time to make it early in the game, so we have some time to make these adjustments. Of course, it doesn't mean we don't make every single change you say, you express, but at least when you find a pattern of responses that everyone is saying, is asking for a character, is asking for a specific pose, is asking for a specific, I don't know, EX or whatever, that's a good sign. I think that's the best advice we can get from the community. So we want to make you part of these creations.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Well, and we talk a lot about how there's always going to be negativity, but as long as people are constructive, it's like, this is what I would love to see. Don't just say I hate this. This is stupid. Just say what would you do to improve it? What would you do? And
the quickest way to get us not to change anything is to say tell us how dumb and how stupid and how awful work we're doing. Because then, let's be honest, who wants to hear that about anything?
No, exactly.
We're no different than anybody else. Nobody wants to go, you know what? your taste sucks. You know, your collection sucks. You collect the lame stuff. Who wants to hear that? You know, if you hear that, you're going to go, well, I don't need to hang out with that guy or listen to that guy, or I'm distancing myself from that person because I feel, you know, they're not, you know, a positive influence on anything, you know. So it goes the same way. I mean, we're all, you know, and even more so because we're the people that are putting all the hard work and our own nerdy touches and everything to it. So nobody likes to hear that. Not saying that everything we do is right. I mean, I've also said in past shows where if you think everybody in creative agree as a unified team on something,
no,
it doesn't go that way. I mean, we might go like, okay, I like this, but if I had my way, even that, you know, is different. And that goes with myself, Danny, Martin, any of us in the creative. You know, we always have things that we'd want to do a little bit different, but at the end of the day, it's to where we all agree. Agreeing and having it your way are two different things, you know. So we're not doing something that one of us is like, wait, I can't live with this, I quit. You know,
you know one interesting thing about I'm reading some of the comments, and it's not to respond any criticism or negativity, but you know, if you really think that we are here just as you know, as an artist because we're greedy and want to make money, you know, Martin, myself, Anthony, and we want to share this thing with the community just because of the money, I think you're so wrong. You're so wrong. Absolutely. You know, I'm on this.
The cash grab thing.
I mean, I'm on this 100% about the passion I feel for making these things, you know, and try to make all these things as the best as we can. Have you ever feel? For example, I'm a huge video game fan. I'm a gamer, and I love sometimes when you see video games companies listening to the community, you know, and of course that the outcome is, they will sell more if they present a better product for, you know, those fans. Of course, same as the movies. But do you really think that at the end of the day, what moves us is just money? You're so wrong, man. So it's about passion. It's about what we do. We really want to make things that people love. It's I would say, as an artist, it damages you. It hurts you when you release. You've been working for months or years on something, then you release it and people hate it and people don't like it, and you say, oh, maybe if I knew this thing, maybe I could, you know, maybe this piece would have looked a little bit better. You know, that's what we want. You know, we don't just hear you listen to the community. It's not about, at the end of the day, we can't just do what community wants. You know, is what we think we want to make as a company, but with some ingredients from the community, so we make that piece even more special for everyone. That's the point here. So
as a community have a very
there's got to be a balance.
Opinion, exactly. It's not all the communities say exactly the same. Each one have his own stuff. So taste.
Well, just think. I mean, just think. Back in the day, before there was the internet and everything else, it was just like anything else. You know, something hit the market and people bought it and liked it, or they didn't like it. Now it's opened up a whole other facet of let's discuss.
You got to read about
it. Exactly.
Yeah, let's talk about it, which is good. But I mean, that also opens up the bad as well. You know, it just depends on the individual themselves. You know, I enjoy shows that I can be on that where I can discuss about what goes into it, share stuff with the fellow artists and coworkers and collectors, as opposed to just being on a show where. And this is by no means a punch at any of the other shows, but if you can't discuss and talk about it, what's going into it, and it just turns into a show, it's like, that's just very surface. Like, are you in or are you out? Do you not like? Is anybody buying this? Is nobody buying? It's like, what are we talking about here? You know, at that point,
that's the things. There's no talking there.
Yeah, there's no reason for me to be on this show. I could watch this from my desk or whatever it may be. They were like, why am I on here? Just to listen to people to, like Danny said, to validate or invalidate. I don't need that, you know.
There's one thing I learned about the internet, and that comes with any product, not just statues. You're always going to have more negativity than positivity, because people
always.
who are positive aren't quick to type in like this is great. It's always the people that have an issue.
They're satisfied.
That run
so
to
they're
the
not going.
They're not as vocal.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
And it's a not just a sideshow thing, but it's an industry thing where it's like like it's just like you said, the vocal majority isn't the buying majority. There's a thing there where if they're going, the people that are buying it and they're happy. The people that are on the fence, they almost sometimes have to convince each other not to buy it. Yep. And then you have some of those other aspects where it's like, I like it, but the group I hang around with hate it. and so now it's like, it's almost, I envision these weird things where it's like you got to sneak out and go buy a statue you like, but don't tell any of your friends.
Put in some place
because
don't appear on the shows.
Yeah. It might be like, hey, how come you have that statue in the back? You said, I thought we all agreed as a community that statue was a piece of shit. Yeah, I wasn't on board with that. I just hang out with you guys, but I think it's great. But it's just that's an exaggeration, but you do get into those circumstances where it's mob mentality and it's like, why can't somebody just like it because they like it?
Yeah,
like,
our
individuality
our MO on this channel is collect what you love.
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter. Just collect what you love.
If people knew all the shit that I collect, there's no statues even behind here, and I don't dare show my office on the other end of it because people would
and you have a lot.
Yeah, but I got every weird kooky thing. My desk is cluttered with toys and Pez dispensers, and it's multifaceted. So some people would go like, "Man, Anthony's a hoarder." Or he just collects a bunch of bullshit. And it's like, no, everything I have is here for a reason. And if it was me just collecting it, I'd get rid of it. But I don't, there's a reason why I have all this stuff. And it's because, like you said, collect the stuff that you like.
Spoken like a true hoarder.
Fine. Exactly. I know. I'm justifying it. Like, I don't have a drinking problem.
I have a statue problem.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's right.
That's what happens when you're single and no kids. You just go.
Real quick question from the chat. I just wanted to ask this one. Any update on the non-venomized Hulk piece? Is that that will come? Will we be seeing maybe that piece soon?
I would say pre-order by June.
Okay. All right. So very soon.
It'll be soon because it's right now it's sitting in paint, getting touch-ups to dial it in. So. It looks
this guy right here is very excited, Mr. Delaney. I know he's going to be looking toward that one.
It's a big boy. It's big.
Well, I have the venomized one on pre-order, and I think I don't know if I'm gonna get both or just the venom. I don't know what to do, but
you have to get both.
I think I'm going to get the venomized Hulk now that I've gotten a few Marvel pieces. I really like that venomized Hulk a lot.
Yeah, they came out great.
So not to take up too much time, is that something that you guys just mirrored, or like was it already sculpted underneath the venomized stuff? Like how was that done so quick?
When we saw those comments from people say, "Hey, we would love to have the option of that kind of unvenomized Hulk," I brought that to the table, and we were all on board. So since then, we kind of initiated the sculpt of the other section. Because at that time when the sculptor was also Emiliano, when he did the venomized part, you don't have to really care about what is underneath, the venomized thing. So he put all the attention in the Hulk side, but the other side wasn't really sculpted. Yeah. And we also have changed the portrait, so it's not the same portrait. Okay. It's a different portrait that you will see it. So it took some weeks to get that Hulk done.
Yeah, it wasn't just mirrored.
Yeah. No, it's not mirrored.
They had to sculpt the stuff. And like Danny said, there's another portrait.
But it looks different.
The base is the same. But the paint will be different on the base a little bit. It won't be the exact copy.
So they would be great companion pieces. You could have both and very much display them.
Yeah.
Before and after.
Yeah. I think they're both going to come to the sanctuary, so I'm looking forward to those reviews. That'll be a lot of fun.
We'll see.
It looks great.
I have a fanboy question. When a piece is completed in the paint room and you're seeing it for the first time, completely done, is that like kind of an event at the Sideshow office where people come to look at it? Or do people just kind of see it in passing? Or is it like hey, we're done with this, and people kind of gather to look at it?
It depends. I think it's both. Okay. Because, and Danny, Danny's been in the office. So is Martin. I just don't know if they've been here when, we've worked so long, and then for a final reveal of something. I think that when they're here, they're kind of, something's already been done or something's still in the works or whatever. But it depends on what the piece is and who's into it.
Right.
When it's done, Tom, when he was creative director, of course, he'd come in and take time and look at it and give thumbs up, or you could always, it's always thumbs, we got to figure out if it's done or whatever. But when it is done, it's said and done, there's always hype according to what it is. Like if it was Tom and Court of the Dead and stuff that he's into, he'd be losing his mind. Oh God, he'd be going crazy, and everybody would just be like, thank God this is done, because it probably drained him to death, and like me with the Universal monsters and stuff, I'm giddy. So I'm always looking for somebody to share my enthusiasm over it. And, you'll find people that are into that, and it's the same thing. They'll be like, oh, this came out great or whatever. And other people are like, I never even seen this movie. I don't even know what the hell this is. This is kind of silly or whatever. So it's up and down. And then sometimes you get people from admin that kind of are upstairs and don't really dwell downstairs and might come down. We might finish something and they see it for the first time, which is kind of almost the freshest reaction you'll get from somebody, because they don't live that. They're not living that piece for a year or whatever. And it's always good to see their reaction where they're like, whoa, I didn't know we were doing this. This thing looks awesome, or whatever, or vice versa. They might just go, oh yeah.
That's so cool.
And just walk through the hall.
Well, since you're talking about Sideshow, I don't want to do this for me, but I want to do it for Jeff Delaney, who lives about a mile down the road from Sideshow.
Or 70.
If you guys could ever swing it, Jeff would love to at least go in the lobby and see Sideshow. That would be awesome.
Just come by and act like you don't know what Sideshow is, and say your
car the doorbell
down and can you use the phone, and they're like, hey, there's some guy that needs to use the phone. The car broke down. Is that what people do, that now they use phones, that everybody has a phone in their pocket?
I think for us, going to Sideshow is like our Shangri-La, like the sky will open up and light beams and heavens will open up and all that stuff. So
I'll just show up with half a dozen pizzas.
Hey, there you go.
All right, you're in.
Hey, that's all it takes. That's not bad. That's all it takes. I'll bring tacos. I mean, we could have a real big party. That'd be all right. Anything else you guys want to say? I feel so bad of keeping you guys longer.
Yeah, just thanks for spending so much time with us.
This has been great. Thank you guys.
See you guys.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Every time I'm on the show, working for Sideshow for so long and kind of, not being so active on, well, these types of shows didn't really exist back in the day. So it was always forums and a lot of typing, which, it's like, that's not the same, so if anything came out from COVID, it's this type of format where it's, with Zoom and Skype and all this, it just became something standard for people to kind of interact with. So it's always good to be, and even I was always standoffish, like, I don't want to see myself on camera talking. This is lame. But I think the part of it was like, we got so used to having virtual meetings at work, it like kind of popped the bubble on like that weirdness of talking to a screen, and then it just kind of it's expanded. So anyway, I always appreciate the invite from the various shows and getting to be able to have constructive talk about what we do.
And I also think that shows like this, it opens the door for artists, to just, show what they can do, show the art, and just speak and share what they have in their minds. And I think sharing with the community is also, necessary, for a sculptor, for an illustrator, for a project manager, that sometimes you don't have that. Your face is not in the credits directly, but you have done so much work behind that piece, and sometimes people don't see it, don't know. And I think having you guys, or giving you guys as a possibility to just show this stuff, to show it directly to you, to your community, I think is great. We are so grateful. So thank you for the invitation and for this opportunity, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and again, we just can't thank you guys enough for taking time as well. We are massive fans of yours, and so we've been appreciative of all the amazing art that you've given us over the years, and we're freaking excited for what you're going to bring us in the future, because we know that Sideshow is going to bring it.
There's some cool pieces that we haven't talked about or shown that you guys are gonna love.
Yeah.
One in particular that I'm excited about.
Anything, any of those we might see in San Diego?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't have the lineup.
A few of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some stuff there, but I don't know exactly.
I have a feeling I already know the answer. You're probably gonna say depends how things go in San Diego, but any chance of New York this year?
I can't speak on that. I don't know.
I can't say. I will say I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. We have this conversation internally, and I think right now we are so focused on San Diego that I can't really give you an answer about New York. But if everything goes well, maybe next year, maybe we can do both. But no, we'll see. We'll see.
Right.
I know it's harder to get stuff over there. I mean, obviously your crew and all the statues have to ship over there. I know it's a bigger deal.
Maybe a smaller thing. Maybe we can do it in the near future. You know, it doesn't have to be that big like San Diego. So yeah.
I just need to go to San Diego. Be a lot easier.
I tried to get you there, Eric. I tried.
It's hard to get a ticket to even get in the place.
I mean, in Sideshow is the reason I'm going. So, I'm just so excited to go back to that booth. I had so much fun. What was it? 23? Is that the last time, or 22? I can't remember what year it was. I think 2022.
Right before COVID. So
yeah. So I think that was because we were all in masks still during that show. So anyway, I can't thank you guys enough. Martin, thank you very much. It's just an honor to have you on the show. Anthony, Daniel, thank you again so very much.
Thank you.
A pleasure.
Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Good night.
All right. Good night, guys. Good night.
See you next.
Good night. Have a good one. See you later.
Yes.
Let's see.
We all going off?
Okay. All right. Well, we've gone 2 hours. You want to look at photos, or do you want to do another show next week?
We're all going off. I was like,
we could do either one. Will you all have you guys vote?
I'm fine either way.
Yeah, I guess I'm fine either way. But
yeah,
Dan,
I'm fine either way. I probably have about 30 minutes in me.
Okay, we could do a 30 minutes. We'll do 30 minutes. Okay, let's go. Let's go. First of all, how great was it? Those guys, man, those guys are phenomenal.
Yeah, just to let them talk. It was just.
I mean, I could listen to him for hours.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just
I feel bad keeping them on so long. I feel bad, but I was like, we'll do an hour. And then we went to.
I had like a million questions, but I was like,
I don't think they were too upset. I think they were happy to talk.
Well, it was just.
It was fun to just listen to them talk amongst themselves.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, cool.
Just so cool. Just so cool. Okay, we'll look at some photos. We have a lot to look at, obviously, from Sideshow and also, Prime One and other companies as well. Let me get my banner off of here so everybody can see a little bit better. And let's go this one here. All right, we will go stretching. All right, can you see the photo?
Yes.
All right, we'll start with this is the brand new reveal last week on the COC. We got to see the whole thing revealed. This is the Kingpin premium format. There's been some collectors that were a little upset because they wanted it more of like a Spider-Man themed, but they chose to do Daredevil, which I still feel like they could just change out that hand and put a Spidey portrait in that hand too if they wanted to.
You know what I think they should do?
What do you think they should do?
Instead of having a switch out with Spidey mask, I think they should have a switch out with a clenched fist, because just like some people want to display it with Spidey and some want to display it with Daredevil, some people don't like to have a villain holding a hero's mask if they're going to be displaying the piece right next to the hero
with the mask. Exactly.
The other thing is, from our point of view, you don't even see the mask; you just see his hand. So
right. But if it was a clenched fist, that you could do anything. You could display anything with it.
Yeah, that's where I always have trouble too with the mask portraits is like, or the unmasked, because then if you like my Alfred's holding the bat cowl. Well, if you have him standing next to Batman with the cowl on, it doesn't make any sense necessarily.
Right.
So I'm like, I 100% understand what you're saying. I think a clenched fist, or at least something without the mask in it, would be appropriate. I think that would be, and I think that'd be an easy thing to change, or add to it.
Right.
Because this guy's not up for pre-order yet.
It's cool seeing all the Daredevil, not this picture, but all the Daredevil pieces in the back with the Punisher and all that stuff too.
Yeah, this one there.
Yeah.
And he does have like the nunchucks on the base. So again, it is, more geared toward Daredevil.
So a lot of people were saying he kind of looks a little bit animated.
Do you
kind of feel that?
I do agree with that. I think it looks like it's from the Spider-Man animated series.
Yeah, now that I see him with the other, they're really far on the back, but I'm picturing him next to like Daredevil and Elektra. I'm like, I don't know.
So this is kind of what I was getting at with my question for them about, is a decision made as far as the level of detail? Because there's enormous detail on Croc.
Yeah.
And there's less detail on this piece, especially in the clothing.
Yeah, so smooth. Look at the texture on the coat. So smooth.
Yeah, the face is there. I think it's the clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan, what were you saying about the animated look there?
Yeah, I think that my biggest problem, look, as an animated stylized version of the character, I think it looks fine. It looks good. To me, it's not a wow piece by any, but it would pair up good with a Daredevil that's done in the same kind of style, but it doesn't match the Daredevil that Sideshow produced that's more realistic.
Well, maybe we'll have a new Daredevil come out that matches it.
Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe. Obviously that show's back out again, so people might be, jonesing for something new. I can't remember how long ago did the Daredevil come out, Eric? Do you remember? You just got that piece.
Yeah. When I look back at Jeff's review, I think it was 6 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, it's been that long.
Yeah.
So maybe they're due for something different.
Yeah, and that's the black costume. The red costume was even older than that.
That's crazy. It's been that long ago.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they were thinking.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you.
He'd look pretty good next to your new Spider-Man.
Well, but again, he's Daredevil themed, so I don't know.
I know.
But again, you don't really even see the mask unless you're like looking behind him.
It almost looks like he's holding a heart almost or something. Like you could imagine something else. Yeah.
Just put some blood on his hand.
Yeah.
Just draw black lines on the Daredevil mask. It'll look like a Spider-Man mask.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Problem solved. We got a chance to look at this guy earlier. Again, it was so cool. How cool was it to see the renders, the ZBrush directly from Martin Canale studio? That was so cool.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear him talk about the textures, because I see these guys nowadays that they do the 3D printing stuff, and they literally, like you said, they take a stamp and it takes them like 2 seconds to texture the whole entire figure or whatever it is they're working on. It's where here you could see he went in and you can see some scales are large, some are small. Like each one looks literally different.
One thing that I was going to ask and I forgot, whenever he was doing close up on the pants, you could see like the strings of fabric pulling. And it's funny sometimes too, or like you could actually see more detail sometimes in the ZBrush than you actually do with the painted, because obviously the paint covers some of that detail sometimes.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. But man, the more I see this guy, the more I like him.
He's going to be a showstopper in San Diego.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I think it's going to be awesome. And again, I've ordered this one. Anybody else order it, or am I the only one so far?
Not yet.
I'm not doing much pre-ordering these days. I'm waiting.
We got that teacher discount, in stock, but so cool. I didn't even notice the boot. That boot was really cool. And the bubbles coming off of his toes.
I really like the old one too, the original PF.
Mm-hmm.
I just hated the angle of it. Like it was such a weird statue to display. It was kind of hard to display with the depth on him.
Yeah,
so I think this one's maybe a little easier, maybe.
Do you have it?
No, but I'm eyeing it to see if anyone wants to sell it for cheap.
So do you think you would display it in profile?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends where I have an idea where I want to put it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I am selling my custom if anybody's interested.
Not a huge fan of that one, to be honest.
It's a big piece.
It's gigantic.
It's more of like the Arkham.
Yep.
Well, I say that, but it's got
the portrait.
It's got 3 different portraits though. Like the one I have is Arkham, but there's 2 other portraits.
I kind of wish this had a swap out. That's actually one of the things I wanted to ask about the exclusives, but I didn't want to sound like I'm being a pain in the ass. It's like, why do an exclusive for a pipe? The pipe doesn't change the statue. People are going to buy the statue one way or another, whether he's holding a pipe or not holding a pipe.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same statue. So why not? I don't know. Is it because there's going to be a seam line, or why not do a switch out portrait?
I'm guessing it probably had to do with the seam line, because that was such a giant nitpick. Although
could have put a chain around his neck or something.
Well, what I think would have been cool is like these big shackles on his hands. You could have done one around his neck too.
Yeah,
and just had, because you see that a lot of times in the comics, and that would have been an easy way to hide the seam line. But obviously they weren't interested in doing a second portrait, and I think this one's really great. So how cool is it to see the tongue, the tongue texture? That was crazy.
Oh, that was crazy. I mean, not for nothing, when he was showing the ZBrush renderings, it kind of looks like it's cut to where you could get away with removing the head, and the seam shouldn't be too bad.
Well, maybe that was always, a possibility. Maybe it's just a financial decision to keep the cost lower. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe, but then you have the pipe, so it's like,
yeah, that's true. I mean, I would probably rather have an extra portrait than a pipe.
Exactly. That's what I'm
saying. I think anybody would. Yeah.
I don't really care about the pipe. I mean, one way or another, it's fine. Whether it has it or not.
But it's going to be awesome. Very cool. And again, it's here's some of the other renders that they shared on the COC show. Just awesome. Awesome to see this stuff. Again, behind the scenes, we kind of geek out about this stuff.
It's a good
job, Martin.
A Batman villain collector. And
it sure is. There's Eric's shunned. Yeah, shunned photo.
That was before they changed the height.
It was before they changed the height.
Correct.
This is the teaser for Clayface. This is the 1/3 scale from Legendary Beast. And I believe he's going to go up for pre-order sometime, maybe early summer. But it's cool to see some actual paint colors here. What do you guys think?
So I like the different. I like that there's a splash of color, but this wasn't even my thought. But now that somebody said it, I see it. Why is it green? Is it were there Ninja Turtles in the sewers or something? Why is there green sludge on?
Don't know. And somebody also said why is there always a fire hydrant on because there was a custom one done also. And somebody did say that water is his ultimate nemesis, so I guess that maybe,
but it's like toxic green sludge.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right,
you can put it next to the PCS turtles.
You could. It's a transition piece.
I had another reaction to this too, Chris, and he seems shiny smooth. Is he? I don't envision Clayface as shiny smooth like that.
Shiny, and again, we've had some behind the scenes photos that maybe other people haven't seen, and there was kind of the shine to it, and it could be the lighting. I don't know. I want to see more photos, but I do agree with you. I do worry a little bit about the overall finished effect, because you want it to be muddy, gritty.
Yes, exactly.
And not smooth and shiny.
Exactly.
You want it to be, I guess, oozy. I don't know. There has to be. I would imagine it's probably a hard balance, especially at this scale, because this is going to be massive, and he's going to stick out like a sore thumb.
And maybe it's just that it's too uniform.
Maybe so.
I agree with your description of gritty. Is, I think, I don't know. That's what more comes to mind for him than anything.
And again, especially he's going to be so big that you're going to really notice it. So you're really going to have to get the paint and the texturing really right on this to make it not look plasticky.
And at that here, when he's that shiny smooth, that to me, that's the way he looks.
Yeah. So I know. So I'm anxious. I'm a little worried, but I'm also, I'll be optimistic too.
Yeah.
This was the Sentinel from LBS also. They came out with a bust, which is cool. And some people did some mock-ups of kind of showing kind of what it would look like with other pairings from other companies like Sideshow.
That looks cool.
I think it looks awesome, actually. I mean,
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, this, and then they had that kind of, it wasn't really life size, but it was kind of life size. And I think this would be a great alternative, because not everybody can display something that big.
Mm-hmm.
So is this actually being offered like this, or is this just a switch out for the big life size sheets?
I think it's going to be offered like this also.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Here's some premium formats, but I think it looks great to kind of pair it up with some other things. These are some of the Sideshow pieces.
Yeah,
again,
so it's life size in terms of it's the size of us, but not obviously the size of like what he would really be like.
I guess human sized is the
right. Yeah, it's like what they do like Thanos. Like Thanos would usually be much bigger, but they, it's just doable to actually sell these things. Life size sometimes would be impossible.
It'd be like
but very cool.
40 feet tall.
Getting into some pieces. This is some stuff that we got to see at the Prime 1 Next Level show. And some of you guys I've heard opinions, some of you I haven't. But what did you guys think about some of these pieces? They're very gory.
I don't know the character, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys ever read the manga?
I have not.
No.
It's if you think the statues are gory, well, read it.
It's pretty bad.
It's outrageous. I mean, it is crazy.
Oh,
it's pretty graphic, huh?
Yeah, it's graphic in every way that you think about graphic.
Okay.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Might not be my cup of tea then, I guess. I'll stick with my Batman. These are some cool pieces. These were those companion kind of bookend pieces that they showed.
I like these a lot. Again, I know nothing about it, but I like them. I like how you see like the muscle fibers and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Groot a little bit. Kind of got that wood effect going. But again, like we talk about it all the time, that it's like, even though we don't understand it or we don't want it, we appreciate the art and the artistry and the flow of the piece. And these are just great examples of that. This one has a light up feature as well. I can imagine these would be a little pricey.
I would think so.
We're going to talk about price here in just a second when we get to Batman Who Laughs. I thought this one was weird. This is a life-size piece that Prime 1's doing.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Was she cut off at the legs or no?
No, it's like life-size. But like it's such a smooth texture. Like it's, I don't know. It almost kind of looks mannequin-y to me. I don't know. I'm sure there's some people that are very excited to get this in their collection. But anyway, I don't remember. Has Prime 1 ever done life size?
Don't think so.
I can't think of them doing that, but
it's only 8,600.
Oh, no, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a couple of them.
I would. I mean, you just have to get rid of like what, half your collection?
Yeah, there you go.
Basically, okay. Well, that'll solve that problem.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of presence to it.
This one I really like. I think we were talking during the live show that I think you and Eric, you said this is one of your favorites from the show.
Mine too.
Yeah, it's got that like Dan likes the same shit. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Dan likes the same stuff, that biomechanical,
steampunk.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks really great.
And I can't decide if I like the color or the.
I like it without the color, I think.
Yeah,
I like steampunk. Yeah.
I said during the show that I think I like the non-color one, but then because I thought the colors just popped so much, but now actually seeing it like this, I like those blues and reds and greens that are a lot more muted, and so they don't stand out as much. So I kind of like the purple too. I think the purple looks really great. But they're just really cool pieces.
I think they're like $1,600 quarter scale.
That's not awful. I feel like for something like that. I don't know. Maybe. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the Riddler for a second. I was actually hoping this would be up for pre-order already. They are putting up the Batman, King Batman Who Laughs up this week. I am going to be getting this. It's really grown on me. I know it's not everybody's deal, and I kind of wish that they hadn't kind of gone all in with all the different looks, but I dig it. I think it's fun. I think this is the only portrait that I would use is this one right here. The other one has like a green mask, and I just don't love it as much. What do you guys think about it? Especially anxious to hear, Dan. I know you kind of thought maybe not. Kind of curious as to what you have to say about this one.
You want the unvarnished truth?
I want the unvarnished truth.
Always.
I think it's a mess. I think it's trying to be every version of Riddler all at once.
It is.
It is, and they even call it all in, or so like,
and it's just not an aesthetic that appeals to me. I wish they would have committed do a Hush Riddler, do a traditional comic Riddler, do an Arkham Riddler, like pick one kind of thing.
Right.
And I just think it's kind of all over the place. I agree with you about the portrait, though, by the way. It's very, very Arkham, that portrait. It's okay. Here's another thing that bugs me. That portrait, very realistic. The suit he's wearing, not so much. It looks cartoony to me, like compared to the portrait.
And the crazy thing is this is actually inspired by original art for Arkham Asylum game.
That makes sense.
And it does. You could see it. You could see where the influence came from.
Yeah.
And, I even, when they first teased it years ago, I reached out to Johnny and I said, it's like, this is really cartoony. Is this the direction you're going? He's like, no, we're going to make it ultra realistic. We're going to, up our game. And I see what they did. They definitely did do that with the portraits.
Portrait, yeah.
But the rest of it has to match also.
Yeah.
And again, for me, I'm going to get it because I'm a glutton for punishment. And I really want a third scale Riddler. Would I have preferred just a traditional green suit like Hush? 100%. And I think that's why it's resonated so much with the Tweeterhead piece, is that people just love that look of Riddler. They want that classic look.
Yeah.
See, I can get past the suit. I'm having a trouble getting past the boots. It just throws it off for me.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Again, I feel like they were just trying to do too much. I love this, but I would never display that portrait on the statue. I like the little mini bust that comes with. I think that's cool.
Sure.
But have we ever seen that look in the comics? No. I mean, obviously it's meant to be like a movie edition, but then when you put that on the body, it doesn't make any sense with the cartoon green suit. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
See, now you're making all the points that are in my head.
Right.
It's just it's all disconnected for me.
I want to order it, but at the same time, I feel like certain things going to bother me after a while once I get it in, especially the boots. The boots keep throwing me off. Like, I don't love the jacket. I hate the question mark on the jacket that's on the back. You're never going to see it. Yeah. Fine. But I don't know, man. Those boots are like, it just doesn't look right with the suit because he's got the Arkham style going on. And
this is exactly how I would display it. Excuse me. I'm hoping that we could take off the bust. I don't like the bust on it, the Batman bust. I don't feel like that makes any sense.
Yeah.
All that can go. The little bobblehead guy, he can go.
Yep.
I would strip it all of that. And keep it a little bit more simple. I do like the glow up question mark. I think that's fun.
That's fine.
But I think the rest of it could go. So we'll see. I'm a little bit nervous about price.
I have a new name for him. I know it just occurred to me what he is. He's Carnival Riddler.
Yeah, it's kind of
Looks like a carny.
Yeah, carny Riddler. Yep.
Lights and I don't know, just
Hey, folks, step right up.
Exactly.
I get that vibe. I get it. Yep.
But I mean, juxtapose this with the Sideshow Riddler with the quarter scale. That one to me is far closer. If they would have done anything even like that in a third scale, I think they would have hit it out of the park.
I agree.
And once you light it up, it's even more obnoxious. Like, it's just so distracting.
Well, that's another thing I would never light up.
Yeah.
It's like we don't need it.
It doesn't need it. No,
we didn't need it. This thing is going up for pre-order this week. This is a massive piece. It's really well done. I think it's beautifully executed. It's kind of a continuation of the original Batman Who Laughs, which I think cost $1,200. I think when it went up for pre-order.
I think you need two of these, Chris. I think they flank main doors to the protectors of your cave.
Well, I can guarantee this is a hard pass for me. What was it? $2,600.
$28.99.
$28.99. What do you guys think? What is going on? You guys know how much I love Prime 1, but have they lost their marbles with this? I don't understand.
It's like they sit around drinking. Do you think they'll pay this much? Yeah, sure.
That's exactly what they'll do.
What's happening? $28.99.
Those stupid collectors.
Exactly.
And now are they a little bit late with this piece?
Well, they're late. B, there's going to be people, I think of like Gotham Cinnabites, who has a phenomenal collection. He's going to want this, so there are collectors that absolutely are going to want to add this to their collection. But like, what is there more to this statue than there was with the Batman Who Laughs piece? There's just as many Robins, although I guess there's one more extra Robin. But even like, Dan, when you had that piece, you had the proximity.
I had a proximity piece with it.
So it had 4 pieces to that. Yep. This has less chains on it than the other piece. I don't know if that would make it.
This one has more cape.
More cape, and the cape is awesome. It's like got that tattered cape look.
It is cool.
It looks great. It looks fantastic.
But it's going to cost you $3,200, $3,300.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand the price point on this one. And people are saying this is as much as some of the giant Predator things. I don't understand it. And this scares me. This price point scares me of what they'll do with the future. I mean, again, you know how much I love the Riddler. If they price the Riddler at $2,300, I'm not buying it.
Right.
It's out of hand. And they're going to have a whole bunch of these in boxes on their sale days.
Yep. Yeah, there's a good chance of that, I think.
I think there is too.
It just seems like death metal is like it's old.
Well, it goes back to Sideshow's point of being too late with like, but that's again, I don't want to bring up like things like especially to their face, but like there's guys out there sculpting absolute stuff and it's done already. So maybe it's the licensing that takes so long. I don't know.
Could be. I don't know. This one I really don't get. Like, this is the most random piece they could have made.
Yeah, this one, you think this will actually ever happen?
No.
Yeah.
Did you guys see one positive comment from
Ultron.
anybody, any show, any Facebook group? I didn't hear anything positive about this one. Everybody I heard from said, who asked for this to be made?
Yeah.
Dan, are you buying 3 of them?
I think 3 would be good. They'd look like an army of these guys.
Yeah. They would.
I'll take a 1/3 Scarecrow, a 1/3 Two-Face, Freeze we're still waiting on. A few other.
Oh my gosh, 1/3 Scarecrow. Come on. How has that not been done since
How are they not doing it? Is it just DC saying no?
I don't know. Everybody, I was talking to Eric earlier about this today. Like, everybody loves Scarecrow. He's one of the most popular evil villains. How could you mess that up and not do a 3rd scale Scarecrow?
They keep doing all these crazy bat suit editions. There was Hellfire, whatever one. And it's just, I
can't read the chat. Is anybody digging this thing in the chat?
No.
I have not seen one positive response to this piece. There's no way this gets made, right? I mean,
I can't imagine it getting made.
No way.
Because again, I don't know. And again, I love George Jimenez. This is based on his stuff, but like, I don't know. There's no Superman on it. Maybe if they added all, I don't know.
Yep.
I'm moving on. Is this supposed to be Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
It looks like him if it's
okay. I wasn't sure. It's like I just thought that's who he looks like.
It's from is it his? I think Jeff, isn't it his comic book?
Yeah, he has his own comic. So
yeah. This Berserk thing is his comic. Yeah,
that's cool. I didn't realize. That's really neat.
Yeah.
I wonder if they had his approval for it.
Going off of some of the other pieces that we've talked to artists about, I'm guessing not.
Did you see that? Just remind me of something. There was that, because now you're in the Absolute group. There was that Scott Snyder post, and he had the Prime 1 Batman on bike behind him.
Did you see that?
I sure did.
The one that we were, because
Zero Year, baby.
Capullo getting very mad that he didn't get one.
Capullo was hot.
Yeah.
Woo, he was mad. But yeah, that was awesome to see that in the background.
Yep.
This is the Predator piece. This is kind of more of the animated piece that they showed, and I thought this one got a lot of buzz.
Yeah, she looks fantastic.
Looks good.
Yeah, I still feel like this is probably Claudio that sculpted this. Maybe not this one, but it's kind of neat that it's kind of more of a dumbed down animated look. I really like it's something different from them. Big piece, yeah.
Love the base. The base is really cool.
Yeah, I love it too.
That's that Predator 2 piece coming up next.
Yeah, this is cool.
Oh,
Yeah, this piece looks amazing.
I felt bad when he was talking about this. I'm like, oh, I'm one of the ones that made the comment about the pose. Well, I still don't like it, and I would have said it to him on the show, but I didn't want to embarrass him. But
this one,
yeah,
I didn't really love this one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like you said, I guess if you're a fan of the movie, it means like something. I don't know.
I guess if he's in that pose, in that keyframe almost, like, okay, maybe.
Isn't this like what he looked like in the poster? That pose.
It's kind of like
it just looks like gonna kill some aliens, feeling cute.
Yeah, feeling cute.
Cool picture.
Like
feeling cute, might kill somebody later. Yeah.
It doesn't look menacing. You know what I mean? Does not look menacing.
Yeah.
Cheese.
He should have like a cigar in his hand, like
exactly.
For my next magic trick, I'm gonna do. Yeah. Whoa! Look at this. This is. I know for a fact Dan ordered a couple of these.
This is disturbing.
All things are wrong.
We all said that too. We thought like this is borderline creepy.
Yeah, a lot. But
especially this one, especially.
A lot of this style is like that, though. They all look like they're under 10 years old with the body of a 27-year-old.
Real popular among the Epstein crowd.
Yeah. I'm not even looking at that.
This one I thought was good. Another great portrait.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Cammy from Street Fighter. And this one was cool because it actually had a couple of different like torsos, which was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Showing some assets there.
Yeah, get the optimal viewing angle.
Optimal viewing angle on that. But then again, you have two different looks, which is pretty neat. That's what I meant to ask Daniel when he was showing the thing, if they could do like a lower swap out of just the legs, where you have the pants. If somebody wanted the full pants, or somebody just wanted the short.
That would be a first. They've never done anything like that.
They haven't ever done anything, but that would be a cool swap out. And they could still use the same base, which again, I think the tentacles was the way to go. But I think that would be cool. You could do just the pants, lower half, and then swap out for the shorts.
Yep.
This is the one I think Bryan was really excited about ordering this one. This was that Ivy quarter scale from Soul Calibur. I just like the art direction. I think it's beautiful. A lot of detail on this. I think it's up for pre-order right now.
So I'm not ordering it because I'm not familiar with the character. But the one thing that bugs me about that piece,
Ivy,
that one, is the way her right leg is turning inward.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
It's kind of odd looking.
And it's a little bit like the Arkham Ivy.
Detective 1000 too, like that little.
Remember that leg?
Spiky leg.
Had the same issue.
Yep, nobody's leg is doing that in that pose. I'm telling you.
No.
Not the knee. The
might
foot.
be super.
This is a special bonus edition of Break Your Ankle Ivy.
Yes.
Yep. Perfect. Yep. Very, very store bonus edition.
Mm-hmm.
The Gumby edition.
These are some other things that we saw on the show.
Cool. I thought the concept on this one was really cool with the shield.
It's fun, right?
I thought that's really well done.
A lot of great storytelling, a lot of action going on here.
Both of these pieces look phenomenal. I don't know this IP at all, but these look really cool.
And there's this version, and there's two different versions, different scales of her. But I thought this looked really good.
That statue on the right, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's freaking awesome.
This is I wish they would do this with DC pieces.
Yeah.
Just do something like this. Which I mean, they are doing the verses, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of these pieces are just, there's so much
cool.
Amazing sculpt and detail.
Details are crazy.
I really liked the base on this one.
Yeah, me too. That's awesome.
Kind of like Indiana Jones-y, kind of Mayan ruins, kind of. New Last of Us also 1/4 scale. I thought these looked pretty good. Obviously, these have done well for Prime 1.
I thought it was an interesting choice for them to go with such simple statues for these. And I know they make a diorama if you stick them together or whatever, but the prior one was super complex. The prior Last of Us statue.
Maybe this will be a little better price point. Maybe due to that. Maybe
it almost has to be.
I would hope so.
There's not much to them. I
really like this one.
This thing's cool. If you've got Last of Us statues to get this, oh my god.
Yeah, so cool.
So
my god. We got to see some in-store photos of some of these also.
I mean, pose aside, that thing looks like that looks real.
That was a cosplayer.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy realistic.
But Chris, there's a perfect example. That last picture of that's in natural light. That looks right there. That looks way better than their studio pictures.
It does look better there.
I agree. I'm so tired of all these like dimly lit, dark. I mean, I get why they do it. But like, come on, this shows it off so much better.
Yep.
And these are really crappy photos that are like, like look. I mean, look at that. It's not even clear. But like, it still looks this freaking good with this bad of photo.
The colors look better. Everything looks better.
So I agree. That's why I really love store photos like this, because it just shows off the statue of what you're actually going to get.
Yep.
And again, I do apologize. Some of these are kind of grainy.
But you know what? Even like that, these are a little overexposed, but they look better.
Yeah. Because I mean, we all have Prime 1 stuff. Like Prime 1 stuff is amazing.
Look at the difference in how that looks versus the studio picture.
I agree.
Easy.
It looks way better.
Wow.
That's why I'm so excited for SDCC and having Sideshow back at the booth, because to see this stuff under real light.
Yeah, you got to see both at least.
It just changes,
Yeah.
Let's move on to Loki. This is the new 1/3 Loki from LBS. Multiple portraits, a couple, I think, different base options as well. This is going to pair up really well for the people that have the Thor. Like, you have the Thor still, Jeff.
Yeah.
Is this one you would even consider because you have the Thor?
No, I'm not. I'm really not buying 1/3 now at all.
Okay. Does that mean that you would still keep your 1/3s that you have, or would those be the first ones to go on the chopping block?
At the moment, I've got no plans to sell my 1/3 Hulk, Cap, or Thor, or my 3 Star Trek pieces. Yeah, not at the moment.
What is up with the mummy face?
Okay, so this is an older version of Loki, which I was surprised that this is the one that they would show to kind of premiere the statue. Like, I would think you would want more of a traditional look, but I've been told this is like a storyline where he's older, and so this is just one of the, what is there, four or five portraits?
Okay,
it's kind of how he looked when he was first introduced in the 60s.
Yeah, it's got that Alex Ross kind of look to it.
Well, this is your more traditional, like what people think of like modern Loki, I think. This is the pre-order bonus.
I don't know if I like that one.
He's too pretty.
Yeah.
I like the one where he's kind of looking down and then his eyes are looking up.
Loki's to me should
that one there,
like mischievous and like kind of evil, like he's up to something. Like
that.
Yeah,
that looks a little bit more scary, but
it kind of reminds me of like kind of a Joker.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Joker portrait, kind of.
Like the one, I forget who did it. The one that's on the throne. I think it might have been Sideshow, actually. That portrait's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm getting the LBS Joker. I wish this was a Joker portrait on that piece.
Oh,
because that's more of what I think of with the Joker. I think they would have killed it with that.
I thought there was one with his head tilted down like that.
There is. I just think this looks more Joker-y than what they did for the Joker.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know. I like it. But I think that'll be a fun piece. I like that they also have the cut and sew element on it.
Yeah, I like that too. That's going to be a really cool statue.
Yeah. I just, again, I love that it matches the Thor. That was smart with that base.
Looks a little less Joker-y there.
Yeah, I think so too.
That one's not so bad. Yeah, I like that.
Because you can see the color of his skin.
Yeah. You got some freckles on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like that one.
I do too.
Look at the texture. The details are great. I'm really loving what LBS is doing. They're putting a lot of love into these pieces.
Yep.
Love what Jay's doing. Yeah, look at the storytelling. I mean, that's an art piece just in itself.
Yep. That Thor base is huge. I mean, it's
is.
a full 18 inches.
When I saw it in your place, I couldn't believe, like, oh my God.
It's like a wedding cake. That's what I call
it. It really is.
Yeah.
It's massive. So anyway, that's up for pre-order right now, I think, if I remember correctly. But isn't that cool?
There it is.
Yeah, that's neat.
It's very nice. So cool. He's had a lot of photos of him. Going all in on Loki tonight, folks. These are some of the different poses. He had like kind of that whisper. This is me in the Secret Sanctuary pose. We don't talk about the sanctuary. And then this one's cool. He's got like this snake around his hand.
Oh, that's cool.
With him kind of looking down. He has more of like a stern pose. I kind of liked that. So anyway, we looked at that one already. Here's some in-hand photos of the Batman quarter scale. He's looking great. Jim Lee. I think,
no bat computer?
No, and that's the thing I like about it. I think it looks better without the computer. But yeah, that they simplified the base.
Yeah, that looks great. I mean, and no bats on the shoulder?
Nope.
Yep, correct.
Yep. They have all the other things like the other portraits, and then they have the extra bandaged portrait that was new that we can see down here in the lower corner. Yeah. But just cool. I know a lot of people are waiting for this one. Looks great.
Yep.
Much more easier to manage, and I would imagine that this one won't have the same leaning issues that mine does.
I'm reading the Luis Mendoza's comment. No leaning on him? Does it come with the lean?
Yeah, come with only mine apparently, or there's a few other collectors.
No, there was a lot of people.
What has the lean?
What about did they also take away the grapple?
No, he has it right there. Well,
okay. Didn't notice. Yep. All right.
I think one of them he does have the grapple. I know he's got the batarang. I think he has the grapple also.
Okay. Curious.
I'll have to go back and double check.
Okay.
But I think it was basically the deluxe version, just without the bats.
Without the bats. Okay.
I'm loving the Supes. I'm still switching out portraits every once in a while.
I'm glad to hear it. He's just so good. And I like this one way better than the third.
Yeah.
Way better. This is J&D Studios, their 6 scale that they've released for the bank robber Joker. I thought he looks really good. Obviously, just kind of a scaled down version of the 3rd scale that I'm getting. But looks good. Looks just like him in my opinion. And then they're also doing the same purple suit also. They've come a long way.
Chris, did you sell your Blitzway one yet?
Not yet. I haven't put him up for sale yet. I'm assuming at some point he will be, which will kill me, but I just don't feel like I need 4 Jokers because I still have the Queen too. And I just don't know what to do.
I definitely would wait to get this one in hand before you sell that one.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think that looks great.
It's good, but the Prime one is good too, the Blitzway. Yeah.
I think it's probably the most underrated statue in the game.
I still love it. I still love it.
I love mine.
Maybe I'll end up selling all the other pieces and just keeping all my Heath Ledger Joker pieces and just having one row of Joker. InArt's also doing a Superman, which I thought the likeness looked pretty darn good on this.
Oh, that looks good.
That does look good.
6 scale again. Look at that.
Wow, that looks really good.
I think it's one of the best likenesses of him I've ever seen.
Will there ever be a quarter scale Chris Reeve that is up to snuff?
It doesn't seem like it, Jeff. Like, why has it not been done up to snuff at this point?
Maybe a little too young, but
Yeah, there's something off a little bit.
He looks better in some other pictures.
That other, yeah, he looks a little boyish.
Like this one, he's smirking. This one, he's got more of a stern.
So he's got like 3 different versions of his hair that come with it.
That looks.
The one where he's kind of like levitating is like, to me, that's a pretty good picture. I like that.
I like that he's looking up too. Like, I think that looks cool.
Chris zoomed out. That's why.
that looks pretty good.
If you zoom out, it looks good.
Yeah.
If you look at it from Cleveland, it looks good.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, here's what you're talking. Yeah, here's what you're talking about with the different hair. You can do different hair.
Well, now that you just see the face alone, the face kind of looks like it's there. So
yeah.
I think it looks really good. There's the smirking one.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's got the Clark Kent also.
The Clark looks pretty darn good.
Yeah. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't zoom in. We're good.
Actually, that looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good. Hello from Cleveland. But yeah, I'm excited for collectors. This will make a great little dio.
Yeah, see, that's going to look real good together because, again, imagine you're looking at it from 5 feet away.
Yeah.
And the head's only, I
know. That's what I was saying earlier to Anthony. Like, everybody on the internet will like zooming in on stuff. Sometimes it's not good to zoom in because that's not how it's going to look to you in real life.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to remember it's going to be much smaller.
Yeah, that looks really cool right there.
That S is too small on Clark. Look how smaller it is than on Superman.
The what? The S?
Oh, that is weird. Wonder why it does look smaller.
They probably wanted to show more of it, so they made it smaller.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
That's true. This was something shown by PCS. This is American Werewolf in London.
No one has really figured out what this is.
I can't figure it out either.
So it's the chain that's throwing everybody off. What movie has a werewolf with a chain around his neck?
And I think most people would have preferred like that classic transformation scene where, he's got the snout coming out.
Yeah, that would have been my preference.
I think people would have really liked that because that's more iconic.
So this might be from American Werewolf, but did PCS say that?
Maybe just everybody assumed.
I think people are assuming. I don't know what the hell this is.
I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. I don't know. Let's see. We already looked at him. We'll go past him. Seeing some of that detail is pretty cool. It's still an awesome piece. I just think the price is stupid.
I agree with what Jeff was alluding to earlier, though. I think death metal has seen its day. It's come and gone.
Yeah,
I really
think so. This is from Pure Arts. This was the one I just saw today. I thought this was kind of a neat piece.
What's the IP?
Borderlands 4. So I think it's a video game.
So is it?
Sounds like it.
Is it like a 6 scale?
It looks like it's something maybe along those lines. It doesn't list what scale it is. But I would assume kind of a smaller scale, maybe like not as small as 10 scale, obviously, but
right.
I think more like 6 scale or 5th scale. But I thought it was kind of cool looking.
It does look cool.
Yeah.
Man, they do some complex pieces, man.
They do. When you got a chance to see some at MegaCon from Pure Arts up close and personal.
Yeah.
Here's some in-hand photos of the Conan. I know we were talking to Jeff a little bit earlier today about the girl on the back, but I think he turned out pretty nice.
Yeah, he came out pretty good.
A lot of detail, but this is the.
I'm just not quite sure about her. That doesn't look as good as I'd hoped.
And again, it's kind of a bad photo as always, but
yeah. I also wish that it wasn't an extra $500 for her.
I mean, it's not Jessica Biel, which we kind of thought it was at first. Kind of. I mean, it kind of looked like her.
Yeah.
Bad teeth.
Bad teeth, and the hair strands just kind of end in a clump instead of like over here on this side. There's kind of like this flat area, like piece broke off. Like I don't know. It's just
that ain't good.
There's things about it that I mean, and again, maybe we'll get some better photos, hopefully.
Yeah, I really wanted to love this piece, And so far I'm not. I mean, I spent so much time staring at this piece at San Diego last year. But I'm just not kind of feeling it with the production. I mean, the Conan is really good. I think it's great,
Yeah.
and the price is reasonable. I do wish that the headless dude on the base was a different skin color, like green or something.
Right.
That's a good point.
With the deluxe, with all three, it seems like they all have the exact same skin tone, and that was not the case with the proto. Conan,
that's interesting.
Conan was more tan, and the girl was more kind of pasty. So I don't know. I think it could have been better, but I do want to see better pictures. And I keep saying that, and people kindly keep sending me new pictures, and none of them are great pictures. But maybe I'll have to see it. Maybe somebody will have it at Monsterpalooza or something.
Yeah, hopefully.
I agree with every point you just made.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. That's really interesting about the skin tone too. That's really definitely bad, really.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have cost any more to make them slightly different.
It just takes more time.
Yeah. This is Davy Jones from PCS, which I think turned out fantastic.
There was a really good photo of this where he was up close. It looked really nice. Because originally I remember you guys saying he looked a little too glossy. But was this the PCS one?
Yeah, this is PCS.
Okay. Yeah, they had some photo. It was like a side profile angle. Looked like a regular. It wasn't a studio photo. It was like a wherever they shot it, like in a factory or something. It looked really good.
There's two different portraits on this one. I feel like this one's definitely more dynamic than the J&D. I'm still excited about my J&D purchase. I think that those looked phenomenal. But there is a lot to love here. But what people didn't love was the price. The price was pretty up there. What was it 2,300 or something like that?
Yep.
And like, that's what do you guys think about that?
It's like $100 per tentacle.
How much was the J&D?
Not much more than that.
How much was it? 17?
This is 23.
I like the fact that this one's more dynamic, but I have to say I like the way the J&D one looks better.
I do too.
It's like one of those prices where it's like, we know people want it. Pony up your money. We're going to take it.
Yeah.
I would love to know how this one is sold for them.
So actually it's not quite that high. It's $1,890 for the regular and $2,070 for the deluxe.
Okay. Not quite that high. I think it was maybe just still higher than people were thinking.
Yeah, it's because he came out and said, wouldn't it be great if I could get this under 1,500 and have it shipped by the end of the year? Everybody was kind of hoping for that.
Yeah. You probably shouldn't say stuff like that.
Yeah, big difference.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, that would be great.
I was going to say, we would love you to say that about every piece that comes out. But I think it's awesome. The sculpt looks great. This is going to be very popular among Disney collectors too. I mean, Disney collectors are so hardcore.
So, Chris, did you order it?
That's where the money.
I ordered the J&D.
Right, but you didn't order this one.
Oh no, I can't get both.
Yeah.
How much was the J&D? Was that a different scale? That's a different scale too, right?
It was 2,000 something.
Same scale.
Same scale.
They're both 1/3.
And again, this one has a much better base, and there's just a lot more going on. And I think the likeness is spot on. I think it's awesome. That's an awesome piece. I don't think you can lose either way, depending on which one you get.
Yeah.
This is my dead end statue that I got in. Still what?
It's still in the Batcave.
Still in the Batcave. Has not been sold. Say Matt's got first dibs if I do. But I love the way it turned out. I think it's fun.
Piece. Yep.
Yeah, it's something definitely different. And you never, ever see this thing. Ever.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
You don't see it reviewed. You don't see photos of it. You don't see anything.
That's what I mean. I don't know that I've ever seen it.
But I think it had an edition size of 100, I think.
I don't know where they are.
I don't know where they are either. The one's in the Batcave.
It's Cool.
I also got my Catwoman in. I really love her from Tweeterhead.
She looks great.
Eric, are you still? Would you be okay if I sent that to you to do the eyes?
What was it again? I forget what you said about the eyes.
Well, I've got the unmasked portrait, which is right here, and she's looking up. I was going to ask if you could do, like, just off to the side, like she's looking off to the side.
Oh,
man, that's like,
that sounds like
that's a challenge, painting eyes. But yeah, I could probably get away maybe doing decals to play it safe, and this way, if it doesn't look good, I could just take it off and be like, "Hey, Chris, do you like it or not?"
I would be okay with decals.
Yeah, eyes are tricky, man. It's not one of my special.
It's up to you. If you don't want to do it, I'll keep it the way it is. But like right now,
I could do what I just said. I'll take the portrait. I would have to try to black out the other eyes first, but throw decals on it, which look better in my opinion. And get your opinion.
Where she is, like I have her up on the shelf, and she's looking at the ceiling, and I hate it. So I would like, right now, I just have her displayed with this, which I really like that too.
Well, is it going to look weird if she's looking? What do you want to look at? Like kind of like downish and to the side, or just to the side?
I don't know. We'll talk.
Either way, her head is like facing upwards. It's like,
yeah. We'll talk about it.
All right.
But the paint's really great. I thought this one was awesome from Iron Studios. Kind of a larger piece. Some other stuff that they're coming out recently.
If not, I know a good friend that he's like a master at painting eyes. Like he does eyes to where you'll think it's like glass eyes on the thing.
That's crazy.
I'll send you some photos later.
Okay. Anyway, some other cool pieces. I don't know what this is from.
I think it said Magic the Gathering.
Oh, yeah. It'd help if I read. Okay. This is from Mortal Kombat. 10
now
scale. Yeah, I was going to say Masters of the Universe. I thought this was kind of a fun piece. MOTU. I was really hoping we'd see Skeletor from Prime 1 at that next level show.
Yeah.
Would have been a great follow-up. But I have a feeling we'll probably see another showcase in midsummer.
In a different format.
In a different format, whatever that means. Not so sure. That one was fun. Yeah, I know it's getting late. I'll kind of get through these quick, guys. That's right. Nap time. Incredibles. I love the Disney pieces. They're really well done.
Yeah. I'm always surprised that I don't see these at Disneyland.
I know. You'd think they'd be all over.
Yeah.
Because they're good. Another Mortal Kombat. This one was kind of fun. With Han.
Yeah, it's fun.
Very plasticky base, though.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Yeah, very tiny. This one I thought was good. Spider-Man.
That looks cool.
Yeah, he's fun. I like the height on him.
Mm-hmm.
This is another Batman piece from InArt. Like that one looks really good.
It's like
a photograph of him.
Tough guy pose.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, those look good.
Yeah, likeness, especially at this scale.
Yeah.
Wonder if they'll be in San Diego.
I would love that.
Last year they did an event across the street at a hotel.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll hit up John, see if I can find out any information.
Stanley says, set a record time on the record show. I think we've done like a 3-hour show before in the past.
Oh yeah, we've gone long before.
We're nowhere near the record right now.
No. Dan, you saw this one in person.
I did. It's really good.
Looks good.
Yep.
Is it 800 buckaroonies good?
No. I couldn't bring myself to pay that for this.
Yeah. Whereas I could see doing it for some of the others in this line.
Yep.
This particular one doesn't seem like $800.
It doesn't.
Yeah. Well, the other ones are more, they're more cow-like. And so you feel like it's kind of like more leathery or latex. I don't know. I agree with you.
Well, actually, we are at 3 hours. I just saw the ticker.
Yeah. This was something new from Sideshow.
What the record is.
Yeah. Well, Eric's researching our run time.
I'm just curious what the record is. The longest.
New piece from Infinity Studios. This is a half scale.
Wow, that looks good.
That does look good.
Wow.
There's some like videos and stuff of them like sculpting her, and I think it looks even better in the video.
That's crazy. That's half scale.
Half scale.
Really, that's going to sell well.
For sure. Lord of the Rings, man. We talked about Disney people, and like, Lord of the Rings collectors are
phenomenal. Like
hardcore.
Wow.
Yeah, this will do really well.
That's impressive. Holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great. And pre-order is, I think, maybe now. And yeah, only $199.
Wow. Silico.
This is cool. Here's my bust, and I need to get through this because I'm giving away one of these busts tonight.
Oh, jeez.
So let's get through it. I'm giving away this one right here, guys.
If you're still watching.
If you're still watching, I don't know how many people are still with us.
If you stayed this long, it paid off.
That's right. Did they have this one at MegaCon?
No.
This was also Pure Arts.
So, guys, that half scale we were just looking at from Infinity,
yes,
is $26.69. That is for a half scale.
That's not bad for half scale, though, right?
I think it's a great price.
Yeah, that's a really good price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's that bad. Well, this must have been a custom, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, though.
I like it.
Their Sideshow did something, a venomized.
Yeah, she did Spider Gwen, maybe, or
something. Yeah, something venomized.
I think that's Mary Jane that you were just showing.
This is J&D Studios, also again with their 6 scale stuff.
Yeah.
Jazz Inc. I thought that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also them doing the 6 scale. I thought that portrait looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
I wish that they would do that for the 3rd scale stuff.
It's amazing. Cats.
That one I don't like as much.
It's like,
I don't know.
It's once you hit the ground.
Yeah. But the angry portrait looks good. All right, we already saw that. Conan. Snow Trooper from Hot Toys. I think we're wrapping up here.
That Revan or Raven, whatever you call him from Sideshow. It's like one of the best portraits I think they've ever done. It looked like a movie actor.
Sure, the best skin tone. I mean, that looked real.
I wonder who did it.
I don't know. Maybe I could reach back out to them and see, because it looked really good to me. Was this Eric's mock-up here?
Yeah.
Putting the Riddler with some of the other statues.
Don't complain if the sizes are off.
Send your cards and letters to Eric B at All Things Art.
It took me literally 2 minutes to do that.
All right. Enough of this. Let's give away a statue.
Let's do it.
All right. 112 people still watching. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. We are giving away this right here. This is the first ever statue from Bottleneck. And it's just awesome that they're doing statues now, and there's more planned. This is the golden edition. This is hard to get. It's sold out. And this is the lower edition size than the black one. So I'm giving away the gold one. All you have to do is type in hashtag 200. Okay. Hashtag 200 to celebrate our 200th episode of Rogues Gallery Live. So in the comments, hashtag 200.
200. So what's the details? Is it shipping international? Do we have to pay shipping?
Oh, thank you. I will pay shipping if it's in the United States. If it's international, I ask that you pay for shipping. Okay. And you can hit me up at thebatmanstatuecollector@gmail.com, thebatmanstatuecollector@gmail.com. We can make arrangements, but I will pay for shipping in the United States. Okay. Let me.
Pretty cool bust.
I love it.
Everything at Bottleneck sells out so fast.
We got Deathstroke back there.
I got Deathstroke was sculpted by Martin.
Oh, okay.
And Carnage was sculpted by Daniel.
Nice.
And this Batman was by Martin.
Absolutely. And my Joker that I absolutely love still is by Martin.
Did you say Martin did that Spider-Man you just got in? I thought I heard you say
that was Guillermo Barbiero.
Oh, okay.
That did that one. He actually hit me up and said that it was the first piece that Sideshow did traditional / digital, where it was they were kind of blurred the lines.
Yeah, I was surprised when he said that. I was like, I didn't realize that was traditional, that sculpt. To pull off that like pose, the engineering, like, crazy.
All right, I've got 42 entries right now. So let me share my screen real quick if anybody else wants to chime in. So everybody can see. Again, 42. Again, hashtag 200. It doesn't help to do it more than once. But again, this is the Bottleneck Gallery Batman first ever statue they've ever done. And it's just a really cool piece, something different. Stanley says, "Don't eat, Jeff. Not time to eat yet."
No.
I got a piece of cold pizza upstairs. Okay.
I am hungry.
Yeah. All right.
I got some DoorDash on the way.
All right. What are we having tonight?
Ordered some wings.
Oh, that sounds good. Sounds good. And well, Jeff and I got to get tacos and pizza as we crash Sideshow.
That's right.
Man, 10 years doing this, Jeff. 10 years. And if we knew all it took was some pizza, our dream to tour Sideshow, pizza?
Yeah.
I love it. All right, guys, 46 entries. It's time to draw a winner.
In the wheel.
Here we go. Here we go. I see a lot of names I know. Aaron Luvueno. I don't know if I butchered that or not. 2442. Again, Aaron, congratulations. Please hit me up at thebatmanstatuecollector@gmail.com. I am going to do a backup winner just in case I don't hear from him.
Okay.
I think that would be fair. And let's see who is our runner-up.
JW. Sarge.
All right. Sarge 0712. So again,
Aaron just commented in the chat, so he saw that he's the winner.
Okay, Aaron is the winner. So Aaron, hit me up, thebatmanstatuecollector@gmail.com. Are you in the United States? If you are, I'll pay for shipping. If not, I'm going to need you to pay for shipping if you're still wanting it. If you want to pass, I'll understand, and we'll give it to Sarge. So anyway, thank you very much for that. I'll get that out this week. And anything else you guys want to say? 200 episodes in.
Thanks for all the great shows, Chris.
Fun ride so far.
Hey,
Yeah.
First of all, we could not have done 200 shows without you guys.
Oh,
So thank you for being along the ride with me.
Sure. It's been great.
100%.
amazing. It's been
100%.
8 years-ish. Holy cow.
8 years-ish, something along that. And again, I can't, 2026, Jeff and I are celebrating 10 years on YouTube.
Yep, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very crazy.
A little bit of more gray, a little bit more. You
Yeah,
still look
like,
like you're 25 surfer dude, which is great. Got the blonde still. Yeah. Stanley says go another 10 years. What do you think, Jeff? Sure. Why not?
What the
I
hell
mean,
else?
unless the world ends in 2026, well, there's a chance. Who knows? It's like flipping a coin. Like you said, I think Anthony said, rolling dice. You just never know these days.
Yeah, we'll all be living in Argentina.
Argentina on the beach. Sounds pretty good to me.
Sure.
Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. 106 people still watching 3 hours in. You guys are absolutely amazing. And here's to 200 more. Again, I can't thank you guys enough for supporting the channel like you guys have. And again, just being part of this community means the world to us. Again, thanks to Sideshow for coming on. It's always nice when we have guests, especially, some people that we look up to. We're massive fans also. So it was really great to talk to them. And just share with you guys that experience. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back in a couple weeks for the next Rogues Gallery. I'm going to have a live unboxing sometime this weekend. I've got the Forced Perspective Spider-Man, and then I'm going to have to choose between the two and figure out which one I want to keep. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the Batcave. Thanks again for watching, everybody.
Get some rest.
You guys.